Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Bruised Banana. As you can see, there's a good few people locked in, and you can tell already that I have an absolute OG panel here today. Carl might be popping in later. There might be a couple of other people. But for now, I'm very pleased to have the lovely Lawrence, the amazing views, the always interesting Rashid, and the Matrix venturer that is Normski. He ventures in for us, people. He ventures in for us. He loses a little bit of himself each time. But as I said before, we all do this. We all have to dig through this Top Gooner stuff for the greater good. If you want to unclog a sewer, you have to crawl through some shit to do it.
If you want to join me, they're welcome to. Right, Rashid, you can come with me. We can take the blue pill. Let's go in there, bro.
Just be warned, Rashid. You do lose a little bit of yourself when you come back out, man. You lose a little bit of sanity. I'll quickly run through the chat because there's a few people in saying hello, and then I'll move it on because I want to get to Lawrence because he needs to shoot off for a while. But Luke is here. Luke, I sent you that was sent a couple of hours ago. But if you're in there, I sent you the link, buddy. AFC always is in the house as always. What's the story? He's saying big up Shane and panel. Big up to you, my man. He's saying Arsenal new home shirt today. Save your money until we start winning trophies and have Arsenal back where we belong. 100% believe we will be going into the kit. I did a little view of the video on my morning show, but I want to go through with the panel because the video it's horrendous. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's like a fucking Calvin Klein ad for aftershave or something. It's absolutely horrific. Gavin's in the house. What's the story, Gavin, my man? Nice to see you. Vigilante, of course, saying big up to the Shane and the chat. Love to see it. Taron's in the house. What's the story, BBK? He should be on again here next week. He's always welcome. I just couldn't have him on this week because it's a jam-packed schedule. Vigilante's big up BBK. Love to see it. RMT4 is an out saying big up Shane, an elite panel. It is an elite panel. You better believe it. You better believe it. The boss is in the house. The boss is in the house. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Hope you're all well, guys. Hope you're all well. HTX is in the house. And like them up fucking thing. Yeah, please do. Hit the like. I haven't got the...
I'm going to steal that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that one.
It's nice. Straight to the point, isn't it? I love it. I love
yeah.
it. If there's any mods in the chat, and there is a few mods, can you please pin the guy's channel? So just like, I still haven't figured out how to do it properly. I always do it at the end of the video, but it'd be handy if there, look, Vigilante. He does it every time, man. Anytime I'm about to say something, I click down and Vigilante's already done it, man. That guy is always on the ball. Always on the ball. Joe's in the house, of course. And we have Michael. Michael's in the house. Fuck the new kit. Arteta, Cronkies, Top Gooners, Flip-Flops, Arteta Sexuals. Yes, and yes again. And we will go through every single one of them. But I'll go through the panel, introduce everybody. And Lawrence is here today. Lawrence, how are you today, my man?
Arteta's a failure. He's just a loser. No trophies at all. He can't coach cause he's a wanker. My heart just keeps yearning for him to go.
What an entrance. What an entrance. We need to make that the new song, man. How are you today, Lawrence?
Oh, well, I'm recovering from the stream I did with Kyle at 4 o'clock in the morning, my time, where we had a e-girl wannabe on the show with us, thinking that the Cronkies are the best American owners in English football. So I'm just recovering from that.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, just seen the new kit.
Yeah.
And if Arsenal Football Club think I'm going to pay 120 quid for a baseball shirt, they can fucking think again.
120 quid is steep, man. It's very, very steep. And listen, like you said, you were on Views' show earlier, and I was watching it. And I mean, if we're getting to the point where they're saying the Cronkies are the best American owners in England, like if they've not heard of Wrexham, you know what I mean? If they've not heard of Birmingham City, I don't think the Cronkies are the best American owners.
Liverpool.
Obviously, they haven't heard of the geezer at Liverpool.
Yeah, you just want the league. Yeah. This is what you're dealing with, though. You know what I mean? This is what you're dealing with. This is why
American owners.
Well, this is why Normski has to take the blue pill every so often and delve in. There he is now. He's gone into the Matrix. Hughes, you were on that show as well. But how are you today, my man?
Yeah, I'm good. Good enough spirits, you know, considering all the crap that we have to go through on a daily basis. But yeah, I'm good. Glad to be here. Hope everyone's well on the panel. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribing.
Make sure you subscribe to everybody on the panel. We're all here to do. We're all fighting the good fight, and we all are a community, as we said before. We might be the smaller side, much smaller side, but I'd much rather go to war with these people than 1,000 of those other clowns. Ronski, how are you today, my man?
Mate, good, all good to be on your show, bro. Big up to the panel and big up to the chat, mate. It's really good to be back. It's been visiting the Matrix, being going to visit the old Sentinels and the old Arteta agents and that. And yes, it's quite interested in there, guys. So listen, I was just putting it out there. Rashid, you're welcome to come with me. Just come and take that blue pill. Let's get in there. Views, Lawrence, mate. Let's come down, Cole. Come with me, man. Let's go venture in there.
Where do I sign? Where do I sign?
Would you like it in ink or in blood? Because I can't do either.
In
Right?
blood.
I'm still suffering from last night, machine. You know me, man.
Oh, you were on a late one last night, Carl, weren't you? You stayed on until the death. You stayed on until the death, man.
Oh,
and you weren't.
I
I could even see you were kind of humming and hand about even coming on. It's always those ones, isn't it?
Seriously paying the price for it. So
there you go. Well, it's all worth it, man, when you're fighting the good fight. Listen, Rashid, this is your debut on the Bruised Banana, my man, and it's an absolute pleasure because you are one of the realest of the real ones. One of the ones like Carl and Hughes and Aaron who reached out to me at the start, and I fully appreciate it. And how are you today, man?
No, I'm good. I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Usually I've got football on Thursday. That's why I've never made it at this time. But yeah, man. Nobody don't buy the shirt, by the way, people. Do not buy anything from this club, and try not to buy anything from this club. Even if you go to games, don't even buy a beer. Don't buy anything, because you're just you're funding the problem. Do you know what I'm saying? You're funding the problem one way or another. You're funding the problem because these people really don't care. These owners really don't care. I don't know what my man was talking about. I didn't catch it. I didn't watch the stream. But I don't know what that guy was talking about. American owners Arsenal American owners being the best. I don't know. Has he heard of Liverpool? Has he heard of all these teams? Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? But yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be with all the man. The big up to Lawrence, Views, Normski, Carl, of course, yourself. And yeah, big up, man.
Absolute legend, Rashid. Listen, we'll be going through a couple of things. I want to go through that again, that video launch, because it's hilarious. We'll have a little thing about there's a little short of the gals I want to go through, which is hilarious as well. And the rest of it then we'll just bounce around having a chat, and I'll come up with points as we go. I have a few points to go through, but nothing sort of overly serious. A lot of it we've covered already, and it'll just sort of happen organically. But Carl, you were on Leeds till all hours last night, man, and you said you're not feeling great today. I hope you're doing well enough to get through an episode of the Bruised Banana, my man.
Let's be real. The first hour and a half was talking about Arsenal, and then the conversation just went zesty levels of. I'm going to say another word. Just go and watch it. It's one of the most funniest streams I've ever been on my entire life. But no, it was good fun. But as I said, I'm paying the price for it. But I'm glad to be here with Normski, with you, with Lawrence, and with Rashid again as always, and with you personally as well. So
lovely. Listen, I'll get straight into the video because it just has to be shown. It's only like a minute long, but I'm sure some of you have seen it. If you haven't, just prepare yourself. It's one of the most pretentious things I've ever seen. I'll have to keep pausing it so I don't get done for copyright and stuff like that. But at least I presume that's how it works. Let me just get it up here. Where is it? Oh, it's here. Yeah, there we go. Let me know if you can hear it, okay, when I press play.
It's deeper than skin.
Can you hear that okay, yeah?
Yeah.
It lives within us.
Look at that. Look who's the star of it, man.
Oh, man.
The guy that he doesn't even play. He doesn't even play him. Yeah, he's aesthetically pleasing, so they're based around him. You know, the funny thing is, he's sitting on a bed.
A single beat.
Yeah. Did you?
I don't even know who she is, man. I mean, it's like a cologne commercial.
It bonds us.
Hey, there's El Capitan, man. It's like it's the only time he appears in it.
It pulse of our club. Heard in every moment.
I mean, there he is. There he is, the sweet prince. Look.
Oh my God.
That's why they
Where's the
bought
hammer
him.
and nails, man? He should be putting fucking horseshoes on. I don't
That's
know.
his job. His job is not to play football. That's his job.
The only bit of football they showed it is Royce's goal against Madrid because it's the only high point of the season, man. There it is. Look, the only high point of the season.
Yeah.
An echo across generations.
I mean, what has this got to do with it?
Deep within our hearts. A love that never ends.
I thought Wanyeri wasn't allowed in the dressing room without his parents. That's what they say. I mean, come on, man. The heartbeat and all.
I'm not.
I don't know if you've seen that already, but
that's the first time I've seen it, guys. And
man, it's just another nail in the coffin for us, isn't it? Lawrence, what do you think of that ad, my man?
It's just typical, isn't it? You know, it's typical PR bullshit. You know, again, deflecting the noise that's being aimed at this clown of a manager. You know, it's. You know, we didn't have this thing going on 30, 40 years ago. They didn't have a big hype. They didn't have these fucking promotional videos, right? The new shirt came out at the start of the season and it only cost like 30, 40 quid. But now it's all about hype. It's about ripping off the punters, you know, and it's just a sad state of affairs that the way this club is being run at the moment.
Yeah. And do you know what it is, Lawrence? Like they go for Wanyeri and Saka and Calafiori because the kids will want to, they're the ones that will insist on the jersey. You know what I mean? When you're an adult, you can go, look, I won't get it this year. I'll just wear my old one from 2006 or whatever. But you have to get the kids the jersey. You know what I mean? And like you said, it's 80 quid for the kids one. If you have 3 or 4 kids,
you know, I mean, and if they want to buy the authenticated one that the players wear on match days, it's 120 quid a pop.
Yeah.
So you've got someone who's got 3 kids, right? That's what nearly 500 quid.
With names
just on the shirt.
Yeah,
with names
and
on the back.
If they want the shorts and socks and stuff as well, Lawrence.
Yeah, it's extortion.
It is extortion, really, but it's a business. I get that. It's a business. But they brought out 3 new jerseys as well.
This club seems to forget there's a recession going on right now, and with I don't want to be political, you know, especially because I live overseas. But you've got a wanker at number 10, right? Who's treating everyone like shit. You know, he's taking away people's retirement funds and pensions. And this club wants its fans to pay 120 quid a pop for a football shirt. That looks more like a fucking baseball shirt.
Well, we do have the American owners, don't we? We do have the American owners, so maybe they're moving it that way. They'll be loving it. They're the same when the season. We hear these horrible stories. Someone put up that their granddad, I think, gave up a season ticket this year after 53 years, man. 53 years.
Yeah.
And Carl was on Lee said that the funny thing is that the owners love that, man. They love it because now they can sell the tickets singly. You know what I mean? Great, we can get someone coming over from China and someone coming over and they're going to spend money in the shop and they're going to do this and they'll get a number on the back. 29 Havertz, number 8 Odgaard. I love this soccer ball club.
Odgaard.
The views.
Odgaard.
You said that's your first time seeing it, man. I mean, I'm sorry. You probably have to go wash yourself with a Brillo pad or something now after watching that. But you're gone. Like, I mean, what have we done?
Like you know, grape shower. Do you know what I mean? That was hard to watch, man. The whole pulse and that. You know, really, you know, is anyone at the club on the pulse, really? Do you know what I mean? Because if there was, I don't think we'd be seeing that. That was like Arsenal's Next Top Model season 6. What was that?
Yeah,
you know, they got Ethan was in it more than anyone else, and this is the forgotten man. Like, you know, it's worse than Tommy Yasu. You know, he's out of favor. That's crazy. That's crazy. I won't be purchasing it anyway. You know, I'll say that. And you know, you was telling me, you know, I was telling you, this is like the Twilight Zone. Every time something else comes from this club, it just gets worse and worse, and it just goes, just like Normski. Like we're literally going into the Matrix. It gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
This is.
It's like there's no shame.
Embarrassing people.
It's like it's no shame. These guys have got no shame no more. You know what I mean?
Go.
They keep pushing boundaries, and these people accept it. And guys, it wouldn't be so bad that we won something. Yeah, you could just say, all right, fair play, but we ain't won anything. You would think that this club. I mean, when it comes to PR, we are Champions Leagues at this. We do it the best. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I saw it, the heartbeat, the journey. It all tugs at the emotion. So you forget about, what's happened in the league this season. And I just it would just be interesting to hear what he's got to say on Sunday after the game. What is he going to say now? Let's all see. They'll be singing North London, no doubt about it. They'll be singing North London.
Be happy with second this time.
Because
the whole not be happy with second, that worked out so great, didn't it? You know what I mean? But
yeah. No, I was even asking Lee if he's on a live stream. I'm thinking of live streaming the speech after, just to go through it, pick it apart, because it's going to be. Someone put up, he better not say injuries and he better not say situations. He won't say refs' decisions, but he'll word it another way. And I said, you're damn right. That's exactly. He has that written. He has that pre-written. If you think his press conference is bad, he's going to ramp it up for that. And it sounds like I'm joking when I say, but he will wheel out all the injured players and keep them close together so they fit in a shot. And he'll stand in front of them.
In a sling, with
eye patches and fucking. They probably have one of them where you pull your leg up to your toy and tie it around so it looks like you've lost half a limb and stuff like that.
The older boot that they make you wear on your foot and stuff. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, with two Red Cross guys standing beside them. You know what I mean? That's like Tommy Asso be in a wheelchair and everything. They bring him out and maybe like fucking any that's born on the 4th of July.
All you can see is glasses, you know what I mean? Glasses in a wheelchair because we don't know what he looks like.
But he's a PR. He's a PR merchant. It's what he does. It's what he does. Lawrence.
Shane, yeah, I've got to go, mate.
Yeah, man. Just jump back in when you're ready. All right, legend, Lawrence. I'll see you in a bit, man.
I'll be back.
See you.
Legend. Had you seen that before, mate? Had you?
That was me. I haven't seen it before. But when I was watching it, I was like this. I was just like Ethan. You see how Ethan was? He was just so pissed. He thought he was going to be called for something about to talk about the game. Or you're going to be you're going to be playing next game or anything. Then they were like, "Hey, listen, wear this."
Sit on the bench. Yes, sit on the bench. Like, bliss.
Did you see it?
Yeah. At least he put him on a bench.
They sat him on. He was sitting on Nathan Butler or Oyedeji. I don't know if you saw the background.
That was him sitting on the bench watching Tierney warm up to go play right wing against Liverpool, man. Like, going, what the fuck is going on here?
He got set up. My boy Ethan got set up. I know that he was set up because the way his face said it all. But the thing is that people need to understand that our players are made for videos like this. They're made for this PR. They are models. They're not football players. They are models. That's what they're made for. Didn't you see what's his name? Calafiore, the Sweet Prince. Didn't you see him tying his shoes? Huh?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Him, yeah.
Real close up. And the camera was. I'm not gonna.
It was the money shot. It was the money shot, man.
Exactly. Hey, if it's your thing, it's your thing. But
listen, each to their own, man. Yeah, man. Carl, had you seen it before, buddy, or was that your first? Was that your premiere of the wonderful Arsenal kit video?
That was the first time I've seen it. I expect nothing else from the football club to provide this sort of PR. I mean, they could have at least put some different background music, because that just sounded like nails on fucking blackboard. That really did. It's just deflection. It's just a deflecting game for them to away from what's happening with the club. They're trying everything in their power to make us forget what has happened this season, and it might work well for all the top gooners out there. But for us, but us elite panel and many, many others, we could see through this bullshit. And, I'm not prepared to part money to this football club. It was ever since I had my little boy. I've never once bought him any merch for Arsenal Football Club because I refuse. Why should I buy merch for a football for a sport team that I support for so many years, only to come up empty-handed every single time?
Yeah.
If we win the league or Champions League, I might buy a new shirt. If we win the Champions League, do you know what? I might buy the home and the away shirt, just as a little treat for myself, right? But if we win nothing, why should I go out and spend money? Why should I do that? I don't do that with the Boston Celtics whenever we fell. Because I think we lost to the Knicks last night. If we did, I haven't even checked the results. I'm just so fucking tired. So,
but yeah, I'm the same, man. Unless they do something, and I was never a fan of buying the recent.
Oh no, sorry, anyway, we're still in it. We're still in it, so it's fine.
Yeah. But the ones I. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, if my team, if a sport team I support goes on and wins their respective championship, then I will go and get a new jersey. I will get a new shirt. I will get like a championship winning t-shirt and so on. Why? Because I support that team that became a champion. Arsenal haven't, so why should I? Why should any of you? And I can't, I would rather go online and actually go to a site and actually get an actual retro one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Get a second-hand one. Yeah, you might pay a bit extra, but
I don't mind paying a bit extra for it. But it's something. It will be something iconic, and I can go back to. Oh yeah, that was the Sega, the gold Sega away shirt that we wore in the 1998 season. Oh yeah, by the way, we won the league double that season as well.
Yeah, well, look, that's the thing. That you're literally spot on, because I was going to say that. Just go on a site, buy a second-hand jersey off someone. It might cost a bit more, but number one, you're helping someone out that needs a bit of money, and you're not putting money back into the club, and you're buying a bit of history, because it is that thing of sort of funding failure. It'd be different, and it's like because it's so shameless. You know what I mean? Just like Nornsey said, it gets worse and worse. When you think you can't go any lower, they somehow manage to do it. They somehow manage to sink lower. But there's a few more people in the chat. There's 37 is in here, people. Make sure you hit the like and make sure you subscribe to the panel. Vigilante put all their channels up there. They're pinned, so make sure you go in and you click into them and hit the sub. But Peppermint Freedom is in the house. Peppermint Freedom, one of my regulars, absolute legend. Thanks for popping in. Why Not's in the house, and big up Shane, panel, Lawrence Views, Carl, Rashid, Normski, big up to you, my man. And Bike Thief's in the house, as always. Bike Thief, how are you? Cooper Steeds is in the house. That's Why Not again. Binks is in the house saying, big up panel, no intention of buying any merch until Arteta goes. That's what I like to hear. That's what we all like to hear, man. Jezza is in the house saying, big up everyone. Jezza, if you're still out there and you want to pop on, just send me a text. I'll send you a link. If not, absolutely no worries, my man. Make sure you get over to Jezza as well and subscribe. If any of you...
Sorry, Shane, just to add one more thing as well. Yeah. I'm actually on the process of actually supporting a team for the Club World Cup. And before you say anything, it's not going to be a British team. It's not going to be a Spanish team.
Okay, so one of the Arabian teams, the Saudi teams, is it?
You'll see.
Okay, no bother.
You'll see.
No bother. But as I said, make sure you get over to Jezza, subscribe. If you consider yourself an Arsenal fan, watching Jezza's channel is a must. It's an absolute must. Yep. Aces is in the house saying, Godfather Jez, love to see it. How are you, Aces, my man? Vigilante's bigging up. I love to see it. Gavin's in the house. Big up, Gavin. How are you, my man? Who else is it? Bike Thief. I already called it. Bike Thief. Ross is in the house. Absolute OG of all the panels or all the chats. Big up, my man. Trust me, I'm American and these owners are absolute leeches. There you go. From the horse's mouth, man. From the horse's mouth. HTX Gunas, you were in my chat earlier, man. Absolute legend. He's saying KSE hates legacy fans. Most of here is geared towards Gen Z. It is, yeah. Because if you sell tickets singly, you make much more money. They come in, it's a day trip. They spend money in the armory. They buy a shitty burger. They buy a shitty beer. You almost double the price, let's say, of selling a ticket to a season ticket holder. And plus, season ticket holders have too much of that for them. They call them out on the dross that is this club. Dr. Butts is in the house. What's his story, Mr. Butts? Saying big up your legends on the panel and the chat. Listen, Dr. Butts, I'll have to have you on sometime, man. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll get you on the panel sometime if you want to jump on. Hugh's in the house saying big shout out, Shane. Big shout out to you. Question for the panel. What do you think about Arsenal buying Zubimendi? We'll run through this quickly. Views. What's your opinion on this, on Zubimendi coming to the club?
It's meh.
Yeah.
Basically, just meh. You know, like 51 million release clause. It's typical Arsenal to get, you know, a CDM as their first here we go when we've been still dying for a striker. So I'm just like, meh. You know, if it's meant to be a party replacement, I'm not impressed. Jorginho replacement, yeah, all right. But as long as party stays.
Yeah, 100%. There's no point otherwise. It's a downgrade. Otherwise, there's a Natster's in the house. Natster, if you want a link, to send me a message. I'll send you a link. No problem. Yeah, it's a downgrade for me. It's a downgrade for me. Maybe he'll prove us all wrong and he'll come in. He'd be great, and we'll hold our hands up because we're not like Top Gooners. If we get proved wrong, we hold our hands up and we say, "Yep, I'm glad." Because when we get proved wrong, it means the club's doing well. It means the club's doing well. Normski, where do you stand on Zubimendi?
Yeah, sorry, my end keeps freezing, so I might not catch everything you say. So, but
all right,
just basically, yeah, Zubimendi, as what's the name say? Meh. It is a meh. I think what it is that, you know, after us losing, you know, in the semi-finals, they throw it back in. Oh, here we go, Zubimendi. You know, I saw him against Man United, and I wasn't too impressed. Yes, okay, he played well in the you know, in the European, was it the European Championships, where he came on for Spain and looked good and all of that, and everybody got gassed up about it. But I think that, I don't know, I just get this impression that the league might be a bit too physical for him. As long as View says, as long as we keep Partey, I think we need to keep Partey for another season, and, you know, probably do an extension on that. And then, you know, it's kind of case of fight it out. You know what I mean? Because I still think that Partey still got it, but I'm just a little bit cautious with Zubimendi. I would have probably liked to have seen another. I was even, you know, I do like the holding midfielder from Brighton, and that's Baleba, Carlos Baleba. I do like him, but he's going to cost a bomb to get. So for me, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But ideally, what I want to be hearing is, you know, Gyökeres. That's what I want to hear. A striker first, not a defensive midfielder. You know, this is how we started off, a defensive midfielder. So I know we're linked. with Gyökeres and that. And if it happens, brilliant. And Rodrigo, if we can get him as well, what a fantastic front three we will have. But at the moment, Zubimendi is the deal that looks like it's going to happen. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it, because we don't want to be seeing more midfielders, do we? We have a bucket load of midfielders, and we seem to be stuck in the positions where we've just signed players relentlessly: goalkeeper, left back, and defensive midfield. It's beyond belief. But let's Berta, we have to get Berta come in. If I don't think he would have signed Zubimendi unless he agreed with Arteta. He might be glad that there was one of the players on the list that he can agree with to go, right, I'll give you that one now. Piss off, I'm going to sign the rest of them. Rashid, we went through this on your channel, but just for the people that are in here that didn't get our opinions on it, where do you stand with Zubimendi?
No, like you said, funny enough, I was talking about it today. Just like 45 minutes. I did like a stream of 45 minutes. Just went through a couple of clips of Zubimendi. Obviously, we don't have the luxury to watch all the leagues, you know, and especially his Sociedad. But I think we should have bought him when we bought Moreno. Why did you waste our time, first of all? And you wasted us 32, 38 million. I don't know how much Moreno in between that. It was just unnecessary. Do you know what I'm saying? But from what I saw, his football, look, I'll be real. I'll give you two things that he's good at. It's long balls. I'll give him that. And he's good. He's press resistant. Yeah, you love that one, right? It's a buzzword. Everyone loves that one, press resistant. Yeah. But apart from that, he's just sideways. So now we've got like four players that can play sideways. Who's going to play that front pass? Who's going to play that pass through an eye of the needle? Who's going to play that incisive pass? Something like that. I don't know. Break the lines. We only got one player that can break the lines, and that's Partey. It's just not good enough. I don't know, man. 50 million. I think we should have started with a striker first. That, in my opinion,
the fans happy, if anything.
But I know why, because you know Zubimendi is kind of like he's a name in football nowadays. Do you know what I'm saying? So now people are gonna read that and they're gonna be happy for next season. Do you know how it is? They recycled it from January. We already talked about this, but yeah, man, that's where it is. That's what.
But it's like you said with the sideways passing. There's so much sideways passing, and now it's like it's going to be like a foosball table. Do you know what I mean? Where it's just going from
Yeah.
side to side. And I already say that Odegaard's like a foosball player because he just spins around. You know what I mean? It's just like when you're rattling him around, it's all it goes like Homer, whoop, 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 when he runs around in a circle, man. That's all he is. But yeah, press resistant, man. And that is a buzzword. Probably used by Gal, ironically, when he is not press resistant, he just rage quits every time he gets pressed, man. But Carl, where do you stand on Zubimendi? And by the way, before you answer, there's 50 of you in the house, so make sure you smash those likes and subscribe to the panel. And if any of you want any questions, because that was a good thing getting the question in, stick your questions in, and I'll ask the panel the questions because we only have a couple of things to go through, so it'll keep the flow going. But Carl, Zubimendi, man, where do you stand on Zubimendi?
Not what we need.
Mm.
Not what we need off the bat. I'll be very honest with you. I agree with what Rashida said that we need to get the striker first. Say we need to get the striker first. But I'm off the boat now when it comes to Victor Gyökeres. If we're going to play this style of U-shaped football next season, Gyökeres is going to get left hung out to dry. He will not suit our style. My personal preference is stay in the Portuguese league, but take Benfica's Pavlidis.
Yeah, he's a baller.
Great technical ability, holds up the play really well, and has got a great finisher on him. He is the complete striker. And do you know how much he costs? 28 million euro.
Well,
That's nothing for this club. And honestly, I wouldn't get Zubimendi in defensive midfield. You could get someone like Paulinho from Fulham. If you wanted to take a risk, you maybe go Adam Wharton for Crystal Palace. He's up and coming. Or go after another baller who was in the Premier League, now gone to the Saudi League. Ruben Neves plays for Al Hilal. And he's only 28 years of age. He is still got some gas in the tank. So go get him. But I think Zubimendi will be another one of those safe buys that Arteta has. You know, he's got Odegaard, he's got Moreno. Now, if he has Zubimendi, he's basically created a midfield of freaking Real Sociedad players. That's not really what we want to implement our football over. We want to implement our football over Real Madrid, over Barcelona, Atletico Madrid to a certain degree. Real Sociedad. Wow. Okay.
Guys,
Okay.
can I just come in?
Go, of course, Nomsy.
Can I just come in here? I hear what you're saying, Carl, but if I just was to go around the panel now, right, just regardless, because I do believe at Arsenal we have got some talented players, and probably with a better coach, we get a lot more out of it. So if I was to go around and say, right, Shane, would you? Because Gyökeres, you've seen his numbers, you've seen what he can produce. The point of football is to get the ball in the back of the net, regardless. You don't care what league you're playing in or not. Is to get the ball in the back of the net, and he does that very well. Okay, so if I was to say to you, Shane, would you be happy this summer to take Gyökeres? Yeah,
I'd love to get Gyökeres. My thing is, would you be happy
to take Gyökeres? Yeah. Would you be happy? Rashi, would you be happy to take him?
Yeah. Of course, Gyökeres. Yeah, of course.
I know you've made your point, Carl, but would you, if you had a chance to sign him, you could get him, would you take him?
If Arteta changed his style, yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah. You read my mind, Carl. How about it? You're back in the Matrix with me. You read my mind.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. Arteta needs to change his style. He's a coach. Yeah. He has to adapt. Yeah. He has to adapt. We're buying, what's his name? He's going to buy those players. And if he cannot adapt and change his style, because I don't want him coming in and ruining Gyökeres. I get that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He needs to learn how to change his style. 2 seasons ago, we was playing fast-flowing football. Yeah, I didn't see that U-shaped thing going on. Gyökeres would have fitted in their night. What I'm saying to Arteta now is go back to that style of football, and stop having PTSD. Yeah, that's what it is. So it's not
easier said than done.
The problem is though.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. I hear you. But listen, he has to. He's a coach. He's been paid. Listen, this guy's paid 15 million, 15.6 million to be precise. Yeah, you've got what's his name down the road, Inzaghi on 5.6 and 9.6. You add those two together, that's 15.2 million. They're still not getting. They're still not getting it. They're elite coaches. They adapt. Arteta needs to adapt. That's why I want.
I'm exactly with you on that because I've said it many a time that it doesn't matter who we get. that with his tactics, they won't score. People are saying, oh, if we get Gyökeres, everything's fixed. Because he scored 40 in Portugal, he'll score 40 for us. No. In Portugal, the team is built to get the ball to him. Where with us, Arteta be like, you better track back, you better do this, I need you to do this, drop in here, do that. And he just has his system and he tries to squeeze everybody into it. It's absolutely pointless. So I'm with you. And I've been saying this the whole time, and people are saying, who do you want to get? And I said, I don't care who we get. I won't be excited about them because I'll just be waiting for him to ruin them. I'll just be going, he's going to ruin these players. You know what I mean? Because that's what he does. He ruins players, especially attacking players. I don't see a point in getting a Gyökeres. I had someone in Rashid's chat and he was saying, oh, he'll get 25, 30 goals. And we were like, nah, man, you get 15 to 20 max in our team. 15 to 20 max because of the way we play. We play horrible football. And that's the way it goes. But listen, we'll have to wait and see what happens with the transfer window. I'm not excited at all. Like I said, even if we did spend 350 million, I still think we'll finish outside the top 5 of this manager. I think other teams are going to improve, and we won't improve no matter who we get because he doesn't know how to use attacking players. He's never known how to use attacking players. Ranieri's after getting a new number, and also people are gassed now. Oh, he's definitely going to play. He's going to play every game now because he has a new number. But it's like, you know what I mean? We've seen what happens. He'll be loaned out, I'd imagine, and good for him. I think he needs it. I think he needs to be loaned out. But there was one thing I wanted to get into, and I'll do it quickly. It was a short by the man himself, Igal, Barney the dinosaur. And I just said we go through it. I have it here. He's talking absolute nonsense. Here we go here.
It's always fun to remember special times, and the happiest memories of all are the ones we share with the friends we love. I love you, you love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too?
So, reviews, what did you think of the point that he made there? Did you agree with him or not? No, listen.
I wholeheartedly agree with him. Yeah, I think that's the best thing he's ever said.
Yeah, it's the most sense he's ever said, man. It's the most sense he's ever made. Yeah. It's the most sense he's ever made. But Will, there's someone that had a question here, and even though it's directed at me for being, oh no, sorry, I'll go with this one first. From Mike, he said, Shane, ask the panel who they're rooting for, Spursy and United. We've been through this, but I mean, my mind changes from day to day. I'll go first. That I sort of change on it because I was sort of going, United because we're used to them being insufferable. You know what I mean? And they win things, so we can use that. But imagine if Spurs win something, then you have 2 fans being insufferable. But then it was put to me by Matty, who said, yeah, but if they do win it, then they can start signing Gyökeres and they can start signing these players. And then it just makes our transfer window a bit tougher. But I don't know where views, I mean, with you, who would you, it's just, can you even decide because you're so put off by it, or would you have a preference?
It's just, yeah, definitely a rock and a hard place with this one, man. Like I said, the ramifications, I think, are more damning with United because they're United and Spurs are Spurs. You know, if they win it, then of course we're going to get bantered. You know, we know what's going to come, blah, blah, blah. I think that might be their 4th European trophy, if I'm not mistaken, where we're sitting on 2. Do you know what I mean? So it's not going to be a good look. However, if United, like you just said, if they do win it, you know, it's their 3rd trophy in 3 years with the worst ever. And big up Dr. Seymour with the worst ever side that I think I've ever seen in my life, and they're still dunking on us with trophies. So, you know, are they then going to skip a few steps in terms of being back? Maybe that's the thing with Spurs. They won a trophy in 2008. What did they really do after that? Did they push on? They've had Champions League football. Have they pushed on? So it will kind of be the Spursy thing, wouldn't it, to win the cup, you know, banter us for a little bit, and then that's them shot their load sort of thing. With United, it's kind of like putting them more in a serious position. But yeah, obviously as an Arsenal fan, the knee-jerk reaction is to say, Spurs can't win anything. And I think I stick with that. But like I said, I believe that the ramifications are bigger if United win it.
Yeah. I'd probably still go for United because whoever they sign, they'll ruin anyway, you know what I mean? So, you know, you do have that part of it as well. And instead of having 2 sets of insufferable fans around you, you'll just have one. You know what I mean? So that's I don't know, where do you stand on it, Normski?
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, it's Spurs. I just can't take winning another trophy. And I think, especially in this season, they've been far the worst. I've seen these guys for a very long time. And, you look at Man United, and I hear what Matt is saying. If, they were to win it, there's a possible chance that Gyökeres will probably go to them because he's played under Amorim. But, if I was Gyökeres, and I look at, I think you pointing it out that it doesn't necessarily mean, because I think you said it, if they win a trophy, are they going to push on? Man United going to push on because they have absolutely been terrible. And there's a big chance that, if Amorim, does win it, there's talk about him still being sacked. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But if I was Gyökeres, I'd be looking at Man United and thinking, right, fair play, you won a European trophy of sort. Amorim even turned around and said it, that even if they do get back into Champions League, they don't stand a chance. And if I was Gyökeres, I'd be looking at it thinking, well, at least Arsenal, with the right players, and possibly if Bertha does his thing and gets a decent manager in, I could go places with Arsenal as opposed to Man United. So I'm still sticking on for the Man United. I don't want Spurs winning anything.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that about Amorim, that he could still get sacked, because I often say that even if Tottenham win it, I feel like there's more chance that Ange will get sacked than Arteta. And that's terrifying to me, that they could win a trophy. I'm not saying he would get sacked, but there would be more. You would feel there's still more chance of it going. If you were going through the summer, if someone said you have 100 quid to bet which one's going to get fired, you'd have to go, well, I'd say it's Ange because Arteta's not going. And that's just terrible, that's our standard. There's no other team of our level that the standards like that. Not one. The 7th longest serving manager in the top 5 leagues, not even in the top of the top 5 leagues, in the whole division of the top 5 leagues, 7th longest serving manager. And he's won one FA Cup 5 years ago, and we were Arsenal. I don't understand if he was the 7th longest serving manager and he was at like at Brighton or something like that, and he just kept him in around 7th or 8th. You go, okay, keep him there, he's doing well. But we're Arsenal, like it's staggering. It's staggering. Rashid, where do you stand on the Tottenham United thing? Is it do evil, or is it?
I hope listen, man, I hope the game gets suspended or something. I don't know what happens. Something just there. Nobody gets hurt, of course, but just the game's suspended. It's a lose-lose situation.
Rain comes down, blows up the stadium, maybe.
I can read Rashid's mind right now.
He was never a villain. He was a visionary.
An architect.
I don't know, man. It's a lose-lose situation, isn't it? Because, like you said, obviously, if Man United get Champions League, or what May said, it will be tougher to go against them in the transfer window, whatnot. And if Tottenham win it, they're not going to sharp about it. Obviously, Arsenal fans already got the excuse for that one, isn't it? Because it's so what? It's the Europa League. So what? It's the Europa League. It's beneath us. Yeah. And then they'll go to you, and when you tell them that, why didn't we win it when we had the chance to win it? Oh, but we were building the team. But how come they didn't need to build a team? Then, the conversation will go on from there. But yeah, Man United, I guess, it's a lose-lose situation, though. Lose-lose situation.
It is. It's an absolute lose-lose situation. And it's like, the funny thing is, when they start going, oh yeah, it's only Europa. If we won the Europa League, I'd be running around my garden naked, man. You know what I mean? I'd be absolutely delighted with the Europa League. I don't care if they say, oh, it's this and it's that. It's a European trophy, man. You know what I mean? The Cup Winners' Cup isn't even around anymore. When we won that in '94, that's one of my happiest memories as an Arsenal fan. Even the League Cup the year before, one of my happiest memories. The Cup double, but the League Cup was massive. The trophy's a trophy, man. If they want to sort of play down trophies, I mean, go ask Newcastle about the League Cup. Go ask Newcastle how they felt winning the League Cup. The happiest moment. Some of their fans are in their 60s and 70s. The happiest moment as a Newcastle fan. Yeah. I just think it's really insulting when people dismiss things like that. You know what I mean? It's like you're dismissing the memories that people have of things. And you're saying, oh, that's nothing. I've decided the FA Cup's nothing. Top Gooners have decided the FA Cup's nothing. And then you go, oh, Arteta's shit. Oh, but he won the FA Cup. Well, which is it then? You know what I mean? It suits them when they want to use it as a defense mechanism. Carl, I see you are 2 subs off 400, man. Anybody in the chat, get on to Carl. His content is absolutely top notch. Get him to 400. We can do it in a couple of seconds. If there's people here that haven't already subbed to him, please do. And same to everybody in the panel. Let's get us all up, because, as we always say, we're here fighting the good fight. And, the subs, the likes, the views, it all helps. It gets our algorithm going and all that good stuff. But Carl, you're fucking bossing at the moment with your channel. But on the note of United Spurs, where do you stand on that, man?
Simple. Never, ever support Tottenham in a final against another British club. Ever. Sorry, my stepfather was a Man United fan. God rest his soul. I hated Man United with a passion when we were our biggest rivals. But I still respected them because they won league titles, they won FA Cups, they won European titles. So you had that level of respect. You could still hate them, but you had that level of respect about them. With the the back and forth arguments between fucking Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira. That you don't get that in this day and age of football anymore. You just don't, right? So I'll always side with United to win the Europa League. Well, that means it will be springboarding them up now to the Champions League and now getting more money. Yes, it would. It might make them a more powerful force again, but their league form is shambolic. And it's going to take more than one summer window to get that team back up and running again. So just neither team are in pieces. As far as Tottenham are concerned, stay where you are. Stay where you are. Bottle the final. Stay in 17th. Been that Australian B-Tech freaking Kenny Wilson. And just... Yeah, you know what I'm on about, Shane.
Yeah, they're not there, mate. Yeah, mate. Yeah. It's a tough game there, mate. Yeah. But yeah, listen, I fully agree. But listen, I just wanted to introduce everybody to Cody FC. He's one of Egal's minions. He's in the house. He's been flopping around my chats for a while, putting up for his leader, man. You know what I mean? If you want to come in, fair enough. But I'm pretty sure I have it set to sub. So cheers for the sub, you gimp. Lawrence, where do you stand on this final? Who would you rather win it, or would you? Is it just the lesser of two evils? I think I know your answer, but I'd love to hear it.
Well, how can I put it into words? I'd nick a bomber from the United States Air Force, fly it over the stadium, and drop a bomb on the bastards.
And that's you demonetized. Sorry, Shane.
No.
That's how.
He's
Got the C word.
Sorry about that, Shane. That came out. But no, I mean, my mum had a fantastic saying when you're in this type of predicament, right? She would say, I don't know whether to shit or wind my watch first. And that's how I feel about this final, because we're talking about two teams who are having the worst season ever domestically. They're in 16th and 17th spot, respectively. And whoever wins this game, they're going to qualify for the Champions League. Not only that, they'll also qualify to play the winners of this season's Champions League and the Super Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you imagine if Tottenham win it? We'll never hear the end of it. We'll never hear it'll be like winning the World Cup for them.
Yep.
As for Man United, the last 3 seasons for them have been absolutely dire. You know, the previous manager is possibly the worst ever manager that the Premier League has ever seen. And while he was in charge of Man United, he won 2 trophies in 2 seasons, the Carabao and the FA Cup. And now this manager they've got right now, he's got them into another final. But according to these Arteta sexuals, top gooners, plastic deluded AKB ostriches, we've got the best manager in the world. Someone who's won 1 fucking trophy in 5 years, as well as 2 dinner plates and 3 Emirates Cups. You know, it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, right? You know.
Yeah.
that this great club that we all love, that's going to be 140 years old next year, are in this position, right? We've got to suffer those wankers from down the other end of the Seven Sisters Road. They'll be playing, Aussie's going to Bilbao. You know, Tottenham's going to Bilbao. They'll be bringing out that song again, right? That they're the number one team in North London. Okay, and then we've got Man United, who've been an absolute joke this season, and it just sums up the state of European football. That we've got two teams that are at the wrong end of the Premier League, fighting for a trophy.
Yeah, and they need to look at those rules as well. I think because it is a bit shambolic that 17th and 16th or whatever can be fighting for it. But
and Arsene Wenger,
you go on.
Arsene Wenger is spot on when he says you can't have a team that wins the Europa League going into the Champions League for next season.
Yeah. I think they need to bring back a Cup Winners' Cup or something like that. You know what I mean? Scrap the Conference League, bring back a Cup Winners' Cup. That was a great competition.
I mean, I thought the reason they scrapped the Cup Winners' Cup was because there were too many European competitions.
Yeah, and then they bring in a new one. Yeah,
and then
they're even bigger now. They're all leagues. They're all leagues as well.
Yeah.
Lawrence, more games. It was all a scam. Yeah. Cup Winners' Cup was a brilliant cup, absolutely brilliant competition that was. And like when you look back on the teams that have won it, like that Parma team we beat in the final was probably the best Parma team in their history. They had Zola and Australia, and they absolutely pounded us. We had Ian Selly,
had one shot.
Steve Morrow, and Paul Davis in midfield. Alan Smith.
We had one shot on goal, and it went in, right. And for the rest of the game, they battered us.
Absolutely pounded us. David Seaman was a man possessed. He had to have injections and all before for a broken rib as well, didn't he? He was in bits before that game. No Ian Wright suspended. Proper. Imagine this manager having to deal with that. Imagine this manager having to go in with Steve Morrow, Ian Selly, and Paul Davis in midfield. He wouldn't have a clue. And George Graham changed his tactics throughout the game. I think at one point he put Steve Morrow at left back and brought Nigel Winterburn in to hold the midfield and stuff. You know what I mean? He knew how to beat these teams. So we beat the PSG team in the semis that George Way and David Ginola in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people say, oh yeah, the Arteta years are better than the George Graham era. Just get right out of my face with that because it's an absolute nonsense. But listen, there's 50 of us in the house. Make sure you're subscribing to the panel. Make sure you're hitting the likes. Let's get those likes up. As I said, it gets the algorithm going and it does all that good stuff. There's been a question that's come in twice, and it's been sort of directed at me because I'm Irish, but I think everybody can answer it because it's been asked since the late 90s, and since then it's Shane, as an Irishman, are you still choosing Keane over Patrick Vieira or sticking with Vieira? Right, this one has been asked to me many a time, and people think that I have to go with the loyalty for Keane. But I do think as a player that Vieira was slightly better. I do think he was slightly better. I just think Keane was unbelievable, one of the best midfielders. I think the two of them are the two best midfielders of the Premier League era. I don't want to hear all these Lampards and stuff like that. If you want to go for goals, yeah. If you want to do all that, Scholes, great on the ball. But for what they brought to their teams, they won games on their own, man. Literally on so many games they won on their own. And they like Vieira showed up, no matter who we were playing, he was an 8 or a 9. You know what I mean? A lot of times a 10. Absolute baller. But you could ask me this tomorrow and I go, actually, do you know what? I think they're just as good as each other. But maybe it's the Arsenal thing, Trump and the Irish thing, I don't know. But I just think Vieira just had him a little bit more. He had just that little bit more class on the ball and stuff like that. Keane was great on the ball, don't get me wrong. Keane won more trophies, but he played in a better team for a lot longer. But for me, Vieira just tips it. Where do you stand on it, Views?
Yeah. I'm kind of with you. I mean, obviously, Roy, what he done and what he brought to that United side was undeniable. He was kind of more the kind of conventional player, whereas Patrick was a little bit more unconventional. You know what I mean? You see some of his driving runs and some of the goals that he scored. Maybe it's just, as you said, Arsenal over an Irish thing. I've got some Irish in me as well. But they were two talismans of the game. But for me, I'd say I think there was just a little bit more to Vieira's game, to keep it short and brief. Yeah.
Vieira, just box to box, was just unbelievable. Normski,
where
do you stand on this? I mean, Vieira was just different gravy, wasn't he?
Yeah. No, for me, I mean, listen, they're both great. I mean, just to watch them battle it out, you know, it was just absolutely, you know, that was proper viewing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think Vieira for me does definitely tip it for me. You see this guy. I mean, what did we pay for him? Was it something like, what did we pay for him? Was it something ridiculous? It was on a small fee. I can't even remember what it was, what we actually paid for him. But to see how this guy,
3.5 million, I think it was.
Yeah. To see how this guy has progressed and drove this team forward in that box to box thing. Do you know what I mean? Because you know, he could defend. You know what I mean? He had lungs on him, he had legs on him, and he could score goals. Do you know what I mean? And he could turn games for you, for me. And he didn't shy away. He didn't shy away. He will back his teammates. And obviously, you know, when them two were at each other, you know, that was a great viewing. That was absolutely great viewing. But for me, listen, Roy, top guy. I mean, as you said, he's won more trophies, you know, more accolades and whatnot. But for me, Patrick Vieira tips it for me.
It was just that little, like I said, that little bit of class. And it's the two of them clashing the way they did. Both of them in the heart of the midfield, the engine room, both of them playing for two teams that over 7 years either finished first or second. It won't be seen again. It can't be seen. I don't think it will be seen again. Two players of that quality going up against each other. And I looked at, there was a show going over here. It was actually Irish produced, but it was the best of enemies, I think it was called. And it was the two of them sitting down face to face, and they picked their mixed 11. But there was a deep respect there. Deep respect. He was saying, I knew if I got the better of you, my team would win. And Vieira said, if I got the better of you, my team would win. And Vieira actually, you were saying that he had an eye for goal. My favourite goal of his was he got that's when he pinged in against Newcastle, was an absolute corker. But for me, it was the last game of the unbeaten season when Bergkamp picked it up outside the box, and he just waited and waited and waited. And Vieira's behind him, and next minute you just see Vieira galloping past him. And Bergkamp waits and just pings it through right when he's about to, and he just rounds the keeper, slots it in, and it's just like, what were you worried about? You know what I mean? And it was like that. Just Bergkamp wait, and players didn't know, players couldn't go to him because he just shifted them, and he just waits, and he knew Vieira would come behind him. Didn't look, knew that someone's going to come behind him. Vieira just gallops off, pings it through perfectly. Oh man, absolutely brilliant. Rashid, someone put up there about Keane or Vieira. Who do you think takes it?
Oh shit. Vieira, obviously.
Yeah.
Keane was a good player. Are you going to be biased? Are you going to be biased and pick Keane?
I went for Vieira.
I'm joking.
Keane. He's the second best player to ever play for Ireland. You know what I mean? So, you know, I have him right up there. And I think what his trophies and stuff is amazing. I just gave it to Vieira just on that little bit of extra class. I just think he had a bit more about him. And that was it for me. But you're going for Vieira, you know. But
going forward, Vieira was better, but defensively they were both nearly as equal. I think Keane was great defensively, to be honest. He was a warrior on the pitch and a great captain as well for Man United. But Vieira could do everything at the same time. He was nearly, you see, the player that I saw that was close to Vieira was DRB. Obviously DRB, due to injuries and whatnot. Yeah, it went left. But you could say Yaya Toure maybe. Do you know what I'm saying? Yaya Toure could do. Maybe Yaya Toure's got a bit more tech than Vieira, but yeah, that's what I like about Vieira. He can go forward as well. Vieira was a great captain, one of the greatest captains at this club.
We've never replaced him. That's the problem. We've never replaced him.
Yes,
you know what I mean. We've never replaced him. You know what I mean. He's a fantastic 8, whatever you want to call him. But he was, but because we were playing like the 4-4-2, where we play like 4. There was no. They were both playing the number 8. They were both playing the number 8. That's probably why. But yeah, man, Vieira. I actually met Vieira in real life. Vieira, man, he's one of the club legend. Big up to Carl for the 400, man. Yeah, man. Big up Carl, bro.
Carl, where do you stand on the Vieira Keane thing?
I'll always choose Vieira over Keane, but comparing those two is a bit like choosing between shirt or trousers. It's absolutely pointless because they set the ground of how a defensive midfielder should actually be. For me, I'll always say Vieira has the edge moving forward. He scored some absolute bangers during his time at Arsenal when he got the opportunity to. Keane, he was a no-nonsense son of a bitch. You was never going to get past him. And if you do, he reminded me so much of Tony Adams. If you got past him, you're going to have something left on you.
Yeah.
And Keane would leave something on you, and it would always end in a ruckus 9 times out of 10. But no, I'd always choose Vieira over Keane, and it is a biased opinion. But why would I choose a Man United player over an Arsenal player, especially during that time when the two biggest clubs were Arsenal and Man United at the time?
Yeah.
So I love Paddy. Paddy was fantastic, and to this day we still haven't replaced him. Although saying that, I think our replacement we did have, but injuries freaking derailed his career, and that was Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. But the thing is, with Vieira, he is kind of irreplaceable. Those players don't come along often. They do not come along often. Like, he was just. I remember his debut against Sheffield Wednesday when Ian Wright got the hat trick, and I thought he looked like a bit like Bambi on ice. You know what I mean? And if you read Tony Adams' book, and he said, like, the first training session, they smashed into him, and he was like, "What's going on here?" And they said by the third training session, he was fucking loving it, man. He was breaking into everybody. He got this taste for it. He absolutely adored it. You know what I mean? Because the Arsenal defenders, when they got the foreign lads in, they used to hit them, and make sure that they knew what it was about. And they said Bergkamp was one of the hardest players they played against. He was like, "Yeah, give me more. Give me a bit of that." You know what I mean? But Vieira, like, he looked like Ian Wright says he thought he was a centre back when he came because he was so tall. But that thing, Vieira used to tackle someone and he'd just put his foot in and then he'd just spin them. He'd roll the ball around, and the next minute he'd gallop off, beat 2 players, and suddenly we're in their half just outside the box. Unbelievable! Like, he just turned the fence into a tackle like it was nothing.
He used to scoop.
Like that.
He used to scoop the ball, innit?
Scoop the ball. He'd just put his leg in, grab it, and whip it around, and then he'd throw in a red card here and there, and you'd love him for it, man. He'd just get stuck in. But what a player, man! All around, what a player! Like, that was. I was like sort of 16, 17 when he started to really come through. And I was just like, it's because it's happened so quick under Wenger. Like, Lawrence and everybody here that will remember it. We were going sort of from Bruce Rioch to we finished 5th, and then with Wenger, we started his first half season, we were up around 3rd and stuff. But then suddenly we're just, are we the best team in the country? It was really like, they had to keep questioning yourself. You'd be watching the match going, we're just smashing teams all the time going, we're the best team in the country. I think we're the best team in the country. You know what I mean? It was unbelievable, man. It was unbelievable. But Lawrence, where do you stand on this one, man?
Well, skill-wise, it's Vieira, hands down. Temperament-wise, I've got to say Roy Keane, because I've never seen anyone with a attitude like him in the Premier League. You know, I mean, I remember that tackle he did on Haaland, and he absolutely lost it, because apparently Haaland put him out of the game the previous season for about a year.
And you remembered it.
And when I think Haaland had just moved from Leeds to Man City, and Roy Keane just went after him. Roy Keane was the type of player you didn't want to meet in a back alley late at night. Vieira undoubtedly had the skill. I mean, I remember that goal he got against Man United in the 3-2 win, where he hit that dipping shot from the edge of the box past Michael.
Michael just waved at it as it went over him.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. We haven't replaced him, you know, at all. That's what that's what this team needs. It needs another of Vieira.
Yeah, Lawrence, if we could get someone that was 70% as good as him, he'd be the best player on the team. You know what I mean? And that's where, like, because Vieira is just that good. But it was a great question, and I love little sort of things like that. But Roy Keane, I will say, that semi-final against Juventus was one of the best performances of any player, any captain, when they were drawn 1-1 at home, and then they went 2-0 down away, and he got booked. No one he'd missed the final. I'm glad they got rid of that rule, by the way, where booking gave you out of the final. Yeah. And he just grabbed the team by the scruff of the neck.
And you know, Shane, he almost came to Arsenal, didn't he?
When he was at Blackburn as well. Blackburn were close.
He had a choice of us and Man United.
Yeah, George Graham was he would have been a George Graham player now. George Graham would have adored him in the midfield, man, motoring up and down the pitch. But great questions, people. All the links are there pinned. I don't even think they're pinned. They're just in the chat. If I knew how to pin them, I would. I'm going to have to get someone to go through this with me. I'll get Aaron to go through it with me with the screen share. There we go. Big up, Carl. Reach 400. 401. He's on the way up. Love to see it, man. That's obviously too, it's something that they were talking about. Shane, quick question: do the Irish respect McGregor? Do they think he's a plonker since he got this fame? I'd say it's about 80-20, thinking he's a dick, and 20% thinking he's all right, man. I think he's going into politics now, isn't he? I think he's trying to go into politics over here, man. That's just what we need, a fucking cokehead in politics.
He's going to walk into the
Well,
house.
at least he'll make politics a bit more freaking interesting, a bit more
he'll get right in, to be fair. If that video that's going around is true.
Shane, there's a famous Irish wrestler in the WWE called Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what do you reckon of him? I mean,
yeah, look, wrestling. My kids watch wrestling, man. I've gone to see it a couple of times with them. The shit they do is unbelievable, man. It really is. Like, I'd be cringing watching it because they have to like catch them when they come back down and stuff like that. It's entertainment, man. And as viewers like to say, this club is like WWE, where the press conferences they have to ask the right questions so he can he'd only give the right answers. It's all scripted, like, you know what I mean. And the gal's the heel. That's what they call the villain in it too. You know, the commentator. There's always one commentator that puts up for the bad guys in wrestling, and he just excuses everything they do. When they hit someone with a chair, he goes, "I saw nothing. I didn't see anything." That's what they get. That's a girl. I'll play the video again later. Don't worry. There you go. Rich is sub to you. Good man, Rich. Big up, Carl says Tarek. Rich is saying, Carl, sub to your channel. Love to see it. Gunnar Lane. Diaby's injuries ruined him. Yeah, and wasn't it the guy that did it, the Sunderland player? Didn't he only ever play like 3 professional games or something like that? The guy that crashed into him, he was just a nobody, and he absolutely smashed into him. Diaby was more of an attacking player, to be fair, but he was an absolute, when he was fit, he was an absolute baller, lads.
Yeah,
Diaby could have been. What do you think? Do you think Diaby could have been?
Oh, he could have been. Yeah, he probably was the closest profile that we ever had to Vieira. You know what I mean? I mean, the only other person that I kind of looked at and thought could have had a ceiling as high as Diaby is probably Eduardo after his injury. But Diaby was you know, flashes of Vieira. Absolutely. We you know, if you was an Arsenal fan and you saw Diaby in full flow, you're just like, oh, we got Patrick back. That was it. You know, so what a shame that was. I think he could have been a very, very top player. And one more thing on the old Keane Vieira thing. The reason why I got Vieira there as well for me is because, as you said, Roy Keane had won more. He'd been there longer. You know, who'd come into the Premier League at that time and cause the impact like Patrick Vieira to stand up to someone like Roy Keane and to actually make it something. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I kind of slightly have him up there. Yeah.
Exactly. I have another couple of questions here that I wanted to get into. I've just been starring them because they've been good. This one here. Sean Dyche said United would be winning more games than Amarin if he had the job. Can you disagree, though? I kind of did this thing, you know. I always just say that Sean Dyche is just a bald Arteta. You know what I mean? Because he is. He just plays the same football. People go on about all our clean sheets and stuff like that. But when he was at Everton, they kept, I think it was one less clean sheet because they put 10 men behind the ball. And we do the same. When the art of being a manager is learning how to defend, but you also have to be able to defend by letting your players go forward. Any team can go. Look at Southampton against City at the weekend. If you just put 10 men behind the ball, it is quite possible to keep a clean sheet in any game. If you just have no intention attacking, look at us away to Newcastle or away to City. We went down to 10 men and we just put everyone in the box. If they hadn't scored an injury time, it would have been a masterclass. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to ask you like directly if you think that Sean Dyche, but I'm more sort of looking at, you know, is Arteta, to me, Arteta is just that Sean Dyche standard, but he's just at a big club because he's exotic and he's this and that. Where do you stand on this, Dorsey? Do you think that, you know, that Arteta, would Sean Dyche be a better manager than Arteta if you looked at them side by side? Or is Sean Dyche just talking utter nonsense? I know he's saying about Amarin here, but I just want to put it about Arteta.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sean Dyche and Arteta. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you can't split hairs.
They're quite similar though, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I just think Sean Dyche is not as animated in the box.
That's it.
Buzzword.
Yeah,
it is a buzzword. It is a buzzword.
He just likes eating gravel and all that stuff. But I mean, look, bro. I just don't know. I mean, it's typical that he would go to Everton, and that's where I really think Arteta. That's where Arteta should have cut his cloth, Everton, before he come to Arsenal. You know what I mean? Because I go back to when we was linked with him. I was thinking, this guy's got no experience. Go and do it in the Scottish League or in one of the lower leagues or whatever. Cut your cloth, then come. But nah, I mean, yeah, trying to split ears with him too. You know what I mean? It's just that, as you said, Shane, he's taken over an exotic club and he's trying his best, to get over the line, which he just can't do it. So it is what it is. Sean Dykes, if he came to us, we would just make it worse in terms of.
He'd make it worse. He would make it worse. But the crowd would get on his back. The Arteta sections, which actually leads me to this, because I know this one will get the panel going. Sorry, Normski, I didn't. It's just
that's it. Yeah,
I wasn't sure. No, it's just I think you're a few seconds behind, so I keep thinking that that's my fault. But this one will definitely do it, and we'll run with this. Do you think most of these Arteta inners are being paid on the side to defend Mikel, but secretly when they are alone they can't stand Arteta basically selling their souls, such as AFTV? Like Igal wouldn't be getting paid by them, but when we come to AFTV, I mean, are they in the pocket of this club?
I don't think it's money. I don't think it's money. I think it's just
access.
It's just access. Yeah, exactly. It's access. The type of people they meet that are so close to the club, and I think they're very, very. Even most of these pundits, most of these ex-players, you can see even Ian Wright, he's begging to get his job back. Trust me, because he said that Saka should be played as a left back. Look, listen, the thing is that AFTV, maybe when it started, it was a good channel, but then you sell your soul. Do you know what I'm saying? You get to a point where you have to sell your soul. It's just like the music industry. Do you know what I'm saying? You lot know what's happening to Diddy and them lot. That's what happens in this music industry. Do you know what I'm saying?
How did I know you was going to bring that one up? Oh, Lord.
Hey, been to some of the AFTV parties then, have you?
I'm definitely not getting monetized by
that.
You could have used a genre when I was still in school. Garage. They sold their style when they never got back and they never got back up. They struggled.
Robbie
you
Lyle
basically
with
get to a point where you're gonna have to sell your soul, or you just don't get access. It is what it is. You just don't get access to the club because the club want these fans on board. That's why they don't give these ultras that much power, because if the ultras really get into this Arsenal fan base and start building numbers, and then ultras can really be a problem. You've seen it in Europe. They're controlling their teams. They're actually putting and to a good standard. To be honest, apart from obviously the aggressive side of the things or whatever, I won't condone it. But keeping the club standards, I agree with that 100%. But yeah, man, at some point you have to.
Can I just come
anybody jump in on this there?
Yeah, let me just come back in here. I was making an observation with them, the channel that's out now in Kenya doing their road trip out in Kenya now, and I saw, I think views. I posted it on our chat, and I said, "Am I missing something here?" Right, you see them all in this big whatever it was, right? And if I didn't know any better, I would have thought that Arsenal won the league. Yeah, the way these guys were celebrating, I would have thought Arsenal. It was like that last day of the season, and the Aguero moment. Yeah, it ended up being a draw. For a start, it was a draw, and the camera was panning on Robbie and Cecile. Yeah, it was panning on them. They were doing all the camera shots and all of that, and he's going around giving it all that. I'm telling you this now: if we was about to win the league, Robbie would not be out in Africa.
Fact.
Tell you that now, because he's written off the league. He said, "Guys, look, I'm going to go out and enjoy myself. I need to go and make some more money, get the profile of AFTV up, right." He would not be out there, if we was on the brink of winning a league. Yeah, he's left it to league judges and all them other guys to go and do the shirt launch and whatever, right? So when you see that, if nobody didn't tell me, one, I didn't know, we wouldn't know if it was a draw, and two, the way these mans were cheering, you're thinking, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, it's all PR.
Dopamine addicts. That's all it is, vibes.
Yeah, and it's just about getting access.
Yes, Shane.
It's about getting access. It's not even about being paid. It's about getting access, getting yourself known. You know what I mean? We come on here because we want the club to do well. Yes, thank you, Lee. Thank all those channels, Dan Potts, for giving us the platform. so that we can give our views. It's not about us saying, oh, blah, 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 I want to be a YouTube star. And that's why I'm saying with my man there, who, you know, I'm going to call him out, Igal, it's almost like, you know, he's trying to make a name for himself, and he's just going around all the different channels, and you know, it's just becoming more like a character more than anything else. And that's why I can't take it serious. Yeah, it probably outside of this, it's like when you go to work, you know what I mean, they turn into just whatever it is, mutant.
Yeah.
Because they come out of work, they're like normal. So, you know, I don't know him personally. From what I've heard, the guy is you know, is probably the nicest guy you can think of. But whilst you're dealing with Arsenal things, it's like, as I said, you end up being where you're going to be, which is here. Yeah, that's where you end up. You end up in here. Yeah,
exactly that.
That's what
if you're hitting the 1 million, they are gonna come call you. They are gonna call your phone.
Yeah,
they are gonna, because you're too big. You're and let's be real. AFTV have the effect of maybe like 40% of this fan base, if not more.
Yeah.
If these guys were Arteta out, most of these fan base would be Arteta out. They'll push that propaganda, and everybody will fall onto it. It's just, these things always happen. Like they told us since the start of this. You remember when it used to be a youth project? You remember when it used to be a youth project? They killed us with this, youth project. If you talk to your friends, the Arteta is, what did they tell you? Oh, youth project, you gotta wait. It's building. You know what I'm saying? Or construction. Do you know what I'm saying? We have to wait. He's an architect. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what it's propaganda. It's PR. This is what happens. They can push anything they want. If you have 1 million, you can. They have actually more. But if you have 1 million, trust me, you can push anything you want.
Yeah, definitely. They've got a massive reach. Yeah,
Lawrence.
Yeah, I've met the AFTV crew because they came out here to Los Angeles the last few years when Arsenal played pre-season friendlies, and they hosted events for them out one of the local British pubs. And I met Robbie and Troops and Cecil and all the others there, right? You know, and they were all right, you know. I didn't say much to them. But there was something inside of me that was upset about the way they treated Claude. May he rest in peace. You know, the way they got kicked to the curb for what he said, which was, there was nothing wrong with what he said in my book. But Robbie kicked him off the channel. Okay, that's what irked me. But I didn't let it affect me. You know, I met them when they came out here to LA. You know, they seemed like a nice group of people. I had a few laughs with them. And then that dickhead Julian decided to make an utter arsehole on that other YouTuber's channel, that Man United YouTuber's channel, with what he said, which is far worse than what Claude did, 10 times worse. But did Robbie kick him off the channel? No, because Julian is funding AFTV himself. Right?
Yeah.
God forbid, Robbie's not going to kick him off, even though he is a prick, you know. And this is what I hate about AFTV, because it gives a platform to Julian. It gives a platform to Ty, who is so deluded that he makes Eagle look normal. I even went on their biased Premier League show that they do, and I sent super chats to Ty that really pissed him off, right? And I said to Robbie, I said, please give me Ty's phone number, because I know a bloke who wants to sell Tower Bridge to him. And he totally flipped. Right, Robbie saw the funny side of it. White Yardie saw the funny side of it, but Ty had an absolute meltdown. And he said to me, that he was going to slap me all over the Emirates Stadium if I ever went there.
But you see, he knows what he's doing because he uses these characters. They're all characters. He uses them.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, you know.
That's why he starts.
I mean, I should be.
Get your comments and super chats in. You know, and he's laughing at Ty's expense as well. He knows
that's it. Yeah, that's it. I feel sorry for Ty because listen, he might actually believe that, but don't laugh at it in his own expense because now, you know, he gets the abuse because even like when they're doing watch-alongs, you know what I mean? They're coming at him. You know what I mean? They read out the thing and they're having a go at him, and Ty's taking it serious. Do you know what I mean? So.
But because Ty was asked, he was asked who's the biggest club in England. Yeah, they were all waiting for Liverpool, Man United. It's debatable, right? He said Arsenal. They were like, no. Who's the biggest club in England? He was like, yeah, Arsenal. No, but it's not. This is factually incorrect. Like, there's facts. There's trophies. There's trophies there. Trophies is that determines. So the thing is that it's just I don't know. Ty is just a blind kind of follower. He's just a blind kind of follower to Arsenal. Yeah. That's what he is. Blind.
He wears those Arteta tinted specs.
No,
he can't take them off.
He's one of them people. You know, one of them people that tell you, "Oh, you got to back the players. You got to back anybody that wears the red and white, anybody that plays for the club." Do you know what I'm saying? Or anybody.
Yeah, it's religion. Yeah, these guys, Rashid. I've got a theory that I feel like it goes up and down the country. You know, nursing homes, the asylum, whatever. And you know, if you support Arsenal, then you're shooing for AFTV. Do you know what I mean? And because that's the message that they're trying to put.
I think his mum's putting too many meds in his rice pudding, because anyone that blames the weather when Arsenal lose a game, you know, there's something wrong with them. When he says it was raining when we lose a game,
Arteta blamed the ball.
Blame the ball. Arteta blamed the ball, man. He blamed the jerseys one stage as well, didn't he? You know what I mean? So we're at that. You know what I mean? Listen. I mean, we are the most delusional fan. Well, not us, but the majority of our fan base have to be the most delusional out there. You know what I mean? I don't even try to hide it when my mates send me, "Did you see this prick said this?" And like I always say, because it's football and it's banter, when Arteta does things like claim that the community shields as trophies, when your mates attack you about it, they act like you said it. You fucking idiot. What the fuck? And you're going, I didn't fucking say it, man. It was Arteta, you know what I mean? You fucking idiot. Fucking community shields, huh? Community shields. I didn't say it.
Why didn't he mention the Emirates Cups he's won for us?
He will, because Igal came on and started using the Community Shield thing the other time on these, and I was like, I can't be hearing this right. I can't be hearing this right.
Downhill. It all rolls downhill. It comes out from his mouth, and then they all just like back, and just repeat.
That's what he does. Yeah, it's what he did with the whole phase and the whole process thing. He gave himself 5 years. The second he invented this, I know Ollie Solskjaer might have said that the phase or process thing first, but he really took it and said, right, this is a great idea. If I do my first press conference and talk about phases and processes, I just can get myself years and years and years of failure, and I can never get called up on it. And because he put it in the vernacular, then it just becomes a thing. But like that's the thing, these people eat it up. It's like when I said that I got a text off my mate saying, "Oh, but when I said I want Arteta out, what the fuck are you must be mad. You know, we've got the most points in the calendar year." I was just like, right, man, block. I can't be dealing with this, man, because he's just saying what he says. You know what I mean?
Did they mention the Big Six as well? Did they
mention
the Big Six as well?
This grinds on me as well, because this Big Six thing, how can we be saying the Big Six when two of them are just above relegation?
Get a trophy for that.
But the two of them are above relegation. United and Tottenham. You have to put Newcastle into it now, and you have to put Villa into it. You should just be top six.
Yeah.
And if it is the Big Six, right, the so-called Big Six, the one we know, we're unbeaten in it in 3 years, right? But Liverpool have more points. You know what I mean? So it still falls flat in its face. That's why they word it like we're unbeaten in the Big Six. Liverpool have more points in it, though. So it doesn't mean anything.
But they completely refuse to acknowledge the fact that they won't say anything about us not able to beat Newcastle, Villa, Fulham, Aston Villa, Brighton, and then obviously this season we let Newcastle beat us 3 times. Obviously twice was in the League Cup, but it still matters. And then you get swept by Bournemouth. Well, I live an hour away from Bournemouth. The only thing good down there is the beach and the bars. It's always good down there.
I'm telling you, he's losing. I'm telling you, Arteta's losing it. I've watched his press conferences over the last week, and he's fucking losing it. You can see it.
Yeah, no, he is. He's definitely, the pressure's getting to him. Well, listen, we have an absolute legend in the house, Mr. Kyle Walsh. Gunner, make sure you subscribe to Kyle Walsh. How are you doing today, Kyle?
Shane, big up to your brother. I'm sorry I'm late. I was a few family things I had to take care of, so I made it back to jump on. Maybe you're finishing up. I don't know, but I'm here for.
That'll be another half hour, maybe.
That's grand. I'm here for the remainder of the show. Big up to all the panel. Big up to the chat. Legends.
Yeah, but there's a goal. I'll bring you straight in because we're on one of your favourite subjects, AFTV.
crowd of fucking pricks. Everyone.
Yeah. I'll let you go on them because I'll let you go off on them there, Kyle, because someone was saying, do you think they're in the pocket? And we were saying, well, it's more that they get access and things like that. That's why they put up for Arteta. But I'll let you tell your story about when you did an interview for them.
Yeah. So basically, I went to the match. Everett Stadium.
Newton's got him.
Mizu Worcester was playing. Had an interview after the game with Robbie. Told Robbie that Worcester is an absolute disgrace to the club, a disgrace to the jersey. £350,000 a week. You're walking around the field, not trying. And people comparing him to Dennis Bergkamp. I said it's an absolute disgrace. What did Robbie Lyle do? Never broadcast that interview. I wonder why. Crowd of fucking frauds making big money on the back of our club. I see them over in where are they now? Over in Africa or some fucking place doing safaris. What the fuck is this all about? And then I see Lee Judge, the judge's opinion about the new home jersey. Did you ever hear such fucking shit in all your life? £120, by the way. For the authentic one, the players one, 120. Yeah. The other one is 80. And they're saying maybe we might win something with this jersey. I've got a big announcement to make. This jersey or any other fucking jersey, we're winning nothing under this fucking clown of a manager with these clowns of a squad and these fucking pricks like AFTV running the fucking club into the ground. Crowd of fucking idiots. They're cancer within this club. Robbie Lyle is a millionaire on the back of our club. They can't even. When are they going to start putting the old crest back on the jerseys instead of this fucking shit? And I see now we're wearing a white jersey for the third strip. Now is a white jersey, a white strip.
Yeah.
First time was fucking Tottenham Hotspur, are we? Mm-hmm. It's a fucking insult. I'm sick to fucking dead of it. These so-called fans, these judges don't know. If he's Arteta in, if he's Arteta out, fucking flip-flop. And he's there acting the hard man, fucking like a hard for you see on the football hooligan films. The English film, Shane, boys are all hardy. This thing just thinks he's one of them fucking clowns. A fucking arsehole. I'd love to see him face to face. I tell him exactly what I think of him. The same with Robbie Lyle. The same with that fucking what's his name? Fucking what's his name? The fella
Christian.
Chris or whatever the fuck his name begin with Cecil. A fucking gobshite.
Cecil.
And he fucking
he definitely doesn't sizzle, mate.
Up on the steps of the Emirates Stadium when we signed Jesus with the Brazilian flag. What a fucking prick! That's the disgrace this club is in. And only for Warren's team talk. Shane, the Arsenal had, when you go up the steps and you cross the bridge and you see the flag with all the great players. They had Dean Brady, international, England. Warren's team talk had the same thing. A big email to Arsenal to get that changed to Ireland.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking. This is the fucking standards this club is in. And AFTV there, and they're getting all the access and rubbing their big box looking at the games. And every single one talking fucking shit. I'm sick of it. And the thing that kills me the most is they have the platform to speak the fucking truth.
Yeah.
And tell the fans what is going on with this club. And not give the fucking bullshit PR. I heard I'll give him another year. Give him another year. If they cared for this club, they say get him out of this club with their 1.79 million subscribers. Get the fuck out of here. They're a poison. They're a disgrace to the club. And I'm going over next season to a couple of games. And by fuck, I'm going after them bastards. Every fucking one of them. And I'm going to tell them exactly what they are.
Big up to you, Kyle, man. Always spitting facts. Listen, I know you're passionate.
Shane. I'm sick
I'm the same.
We're here. Rob Lloyd is a Luton Town fan, by the way. He was never an Arsenal fan from day one. And we're here and we're picking up this club and we're wanting the best for this club. And this club has been dragged down by the likes of AFTV and the fucking pricks that's associated with us. They're flip-flops. I remember all day, Matt, before you begin, Arteta. Now there's 2 or 3 of them saying, no, we don't want Arteta. Make up your fucking mind. Last year they were shouting for Spurs against Man City.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the state that we're in.
North
Use
London
your
together.
platform to tell the truth.
Yeah. Now look at this one here. Gunnar Lane AFC says he had Cecil on his TikTok and he let a slip that he's not feeling Arteta, but he won't say that on AFTV. You know what I mean? So it's all an act.
They've got to toe the party line. They have to toe the party line. And the thing is, you go back to when AFTV first came on the scene, and they were criticised for their negative response to Wenger. Listen, Arteta couldn't tie Wenger's shoelace. Listen, it came to a point with Wenger that, finishing 4th year after year, saying that 4th place is a trophy and all of that, blah, blah, blah. We won a couple of FA Cups with that, but the mass of fans wanted him out. They was fighting on the terrace and all of that, yeah? But they all pulled together and there was characters on AFTV. All the top media companies were calling out AFTV to the point where Gary Neville met and sat down with them in a cafe, yeah, because they were called out. Now, all of a sudden, they don't even need to mix with Gary Neville no more. Now, they're pals with him now. Yeah, they're pals with the media world now. They're now in there. They're a corporate company. Yep. Yeah, they're corporate now. So they have to toe the party line. They need press passes. You can't be saying anything negative. So they've gone from one extreme to now towing the. That's why a lot of people certain journalists were saying like they didn't really like them, but now they've kind of mellowed, yeah, and now they're sort of towing as it's supposed to be the party line now. So they're hypocrites in their own right, but at the end of the day, they're just there to make money, and they don't. If they really, 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 truly believe, yeah, they would say, Arteta, enough is enough. You need to go, but they can't do that because they need the press passes. They need to get in there. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So we have.
Robbie had that energy for Gareth Southgate. It was all different. It weren't the same energy he's got for Arteta, was it? Do you know what I'm saying? It weren't, exactly. Second and not winning is not good enough for Southgate, but it's good enough for our club. So
yeah. But there's a problem, Shane. It's not just AFTV, Shane. It's bands like Egal and fucking gobshits like that. And there's another fucking problem we have. The ex-soccer players that represented our club at one great time. Ray fucking Parler. Yeah. Played for Arsenal. We grew up looking at Ray Parler.
That hurts the most.
Him as a player. And look what he said on TalkSport a couple of days ago. Not just give Arteta next year, but give him the fucking year after as well. Give him another 2 years, according to Mr. Ray fucking Parler. And then you have the likes of Martin Keown. I'm sick to my stomach listening to that clown every day of the week on TalkSport talking through his arse. Ian Rice. These are players that I grew up loving. Going around weeding out merch every fucking 2 seconds. Instead of speaking up about the club. I'm sick of it, Shane. It's AFTV, it's fans like Egan, and it's the ex-soccer players that represented our club and won silverware with our club, by the way. And now all of a sudden failure is accepted by these.
They played under the likes of George Graham and Arsene Wenger. Under the George Graham and Arsene Wenger. Unbelievable. But I wanted to get Carl's opinion on this because I've seen this before and it's an absolute cracker. Robbie Loyal thought that David Seaman was in goal when we lost to Barcelona in the Champions League final in 2006. I mean, Carl, It's one of the most famous sending off in Arsenal's history.
It's the most tone deaf freaking comment I've heard anybody say. You're supposedly an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
You don't know that it was Jens Lehmann who got sent off in 2006.
Unbelievable, man.
David Seaman retired. Come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
It's such an iconic moment, though, girl.
I gave up. I gave.
Do you know what that clip is? Have you got that clip? Not to
I don't know. So someone's put it up before. They put it up a couple of times, and I presume I'm just going by the comment.
I have to try and hunt it down somewhere.
Shame.
I never gave up. I did watch AFT for a short time, but as soon as I saw that, they were just appeasing to the masses and being over on that side of the fence, it was like, you're no longer having a split reaction for fans who agree or disagree. It's now a case of you have to agree, and if you don't like it, we're not putting you on. That's not what AFTV was originally designed for. Go back to when they first started, and every single fan was coming on and having different opinions. And they always take it into account. Now, if you say anything bad, that's it. You're straight off the mic. You're not getting on the mic anymore. And that's where the hypocrisy comes in regarding of AFTV. What I would say is, from our point of view, don't give them any traction. Because all you're doing is, I refer to AFTV as the emptiness machine. All you're doing is fueling their fire.
That's brilliant.
That's brilliant. Lawrence, you were trying to come in there. What? Go on.
Yeah, I just wanted to change the subject a little bit.
Go ahead.
On Berta, have you noticed any other sporting director to get as much publicity as what Berta has done since it's come to the club? If I said to you, can you name me Fulham sporting director or Newcastle sporting director or Southampton sporting director, you wouldn't know who they were. But Berta has got so much exposure since he's come to the club. It's just unbelievable.
Is that his fault, though?
Yeah. No, it's not his fault, but it's the predicament of what we're in. That we have to rely on a sporting director to clean up the mess that this clown of a manager has put us in.
Yeah, no, but I've never seen it. They do camera panning in all the time. And you know what it is? It's because it's these reporters that won't admit that Arteta's doing a bad job, but yet they concentrate on the guy that's coming in to look at him doing a job. So they must know that Berta's been brought in for a reason. They wouldn't be panning into him all the time. He wouldn't even be talked about. And like Lawrence says, I've never seen it before. I've never seen this amount of attention being put on a sporting director. Now, granted, when he turned up at the training pitch in a suit, man, that just made it. That was just box office to me when you see him with the arms behind the back. You know what I mean? I'll have to play the clip. Turn away if you don't like violence. But this is what we need Berta to do, man.
I love that.
Get the cheese wire. Get the cheese wire out. Sorry, I just can see here in the chat that Matty is in the house. Absolute legend. And he makes a great point. Egal ran into a brick wall this week. Yes, he did.
His name was Matty. His name was the Southern Goose.
No! You will not talk over me. Not today, my friend. No,
everybody point to the screen. Everybody point to the screen. You will not talk to me.
You will not.
You will not. You will stop it right now.
That was him doing that Goodfellas to him.
I'd love to see the two of them on pay-per-view.
Oh, man. Matty just had enough. He'd had enough because
guys,
he was being rude.
You know why they be gassing up Berta, and every second they'll be turning on the camera to him. It's because it's the only thing. It's the only thing that we're looking forward to. Berta coming to this club. Because and guess what? Why are they so happy that Berta's at this club? Because of a good CV. How come we don't hold the same energy for a same manager? How come we weren't happy for a manager to come this club with a proper CV? That's why they're gassing up Berta. That's why. If they could, they would have put him in that stupid video that they made for the t-shirt thingy that they did today.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? They just can't.
Yeah, I mean, there's that video that I sent to everyone of that old school goon who's got contacts at the club that says that him and Arteta are already at loggerheads over signings.
Yeah, I think it was the case. I think it was Arteta wanted
Sesko.
Gyökeres. Oh, he wants Sesko.
And Berta wanted Gyökeres.
Who wins that? Who wins that?
That makes sense.
Who wins that argument? Who wins that argument?
I think only Arteta, if we can't get Gyökeres, then he might go, right, I'll get you Sesko. So, but I think if they can get both of them, I think Berta wins, because that's what he's been brought in for. That's just my opinion.
How much is Sesko, by the way?
He's more than Gyökeres. I think he's more.
He's more than Gyökeres.
Yeah,
80 million.
Yeah, because of the release clause with Gyökeres. I think Sesko's about 80 million.
Is he? I don't want no project. I'm not going to spend 80 million on a project. Might as well go and get Hoyland from Man United.
Oh, same difference with Sesko, man.
Can I ask Normski something? Can I ask Normski something? I heard from somebody that I know very well. I'm not going to name him, right? But he says he's heard that the reason Edu left the club is that he's under investigation for taking £4 million out of the club, like what Sinelli did over the Pepe deal with the help of Jarabshian.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly. It is getting
That's the term everyone is missing. That's the term everyone's missing is allegedly.
Yeah.
Because Sinelli still went up in 2 more jobs between when he left Arsenal and up to this point in time. He still had 2 jobs. So when there's smoke, there's fire. And we saw nothing for it. It looked like it just got swept under the rug. With the kind of JFC 84 is right. And Marquinhos. It was over the Marquinhos deal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Here's what, and Rashid, you can back me up on this one because he was on Lee's channel doing this last night, right? Yeah. And that was a case of how much are we actually going to believe in this? Because it's all right to say, yeah, Edu done this over the Marquinhos still. Yeah, okay, you're a snake. You're an absolute half hit. So off you go and that. But at the same time, all of the players that we have bought, all the 30-odd players we bought, how many of them were under Edu's? How many of them were under Edu? How many of them were under Arteta signings?
We don't know.
And I got a suspicious feeling that because of that of that article by the Irish Post in 2020, when they said that the reason they got rid of Sinelli because Mikel Arteta, no more than 6 weeks into his role as Arsenal manager, wanted more recruitment control. The dots are starting to join up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And at some point, we're going to eventually, and if Edu does break his signs and say, yeah, I had basically, if he turns around and say, I had next to no control over what signings, culprit number 1 is still in the fucking building.
Yeah, and but as well, like he must have had control early, Carl, because he was getting rid of our best players. So he must have had a lot of control. Like if he's getting rid of, it still amazes me that he got the push on that on getting rid of Aubameyang. That's why we just shot Edu and all spineless, man. You know what I mean? Because if he
Edu didn't care. Edu didn't care.
Yeah.
He was pocketing the money. He was making money. He didn't care if Abba stayed or Laka left or this guy played or whatever. And I think that the players that are Brazilian and Portuguese, they're Edu silent. Obviously, I don't know for a fact.
He wanted Bruno Guimaraes.
Oh, he would have made a fuck ton of money on that. He would have made a lot of money on that one. Yeah, La Mulanga, that's what it is. Brown envelope, mate. But that's how he is. That's how he is, unfortunately. I think Edu didn't care. He just didn't care. He was lighting up barbecues like all the time. What did he really do for the club? When you think about it, what did he really do for us?
He did fuck on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lighting up barbecues and sucking off toes and stuff like that, and weird stuff that he was into. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, what players did he get us anyway that actually turned out to be proper players? About what, 3-4 players? Not good enough. Not good enough. But now
The thing
with
is-
this information that came out, I feel like Edu did not care. He just didn't care.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
See, the thing is, Rashid, I'm glad Lawrence brought this up because it reminded me. I did actually write a point about it. Edo will be used as an excuse for the top gooners now. They will say that we would have got such and such a player. We would have, if Arteta had his way, if Edu hadn't had his fingers in the pot, of all this stuff. I'm telling you, man, and you normally come up with the excuses, Rashid, but I guarantee you they will find a way to twist this to Arteta being the victim, that he would have got this player, he would have got that player, but Edu was the one that blew it for him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll write that one down. I'll write that one
go.
down. Thank you for that one. Thank you for that one. I'll need it.
It's a guarantee, man.
Arteta's already doing it. You know, I think they asked him about some of the stuff that's going on, the rumors, and he's just like, oh, you know, that's Bert. I talked to Bert. So he's already, and we know what Arteta's like. He'll throw his own mum under the bus, you know, to make him look good. He would, to make him look good, you know, to make it look like it isn't his fault. He will throw anyone under the bus. So, you know, I've already seen it from Arteta. Oh, that's Berta. That's Berta. So I think that's why they're panning in. Maybe it's a little bit because they know that he might be here to ring up some changes. Fingers crossed. But it's also because it's all part of the circus that is Arsenal. You know, the Arsenal reality network. Arsenal's Next Top Model season 6. This is what we are. A reality TV show. You know, and the media are in on it as well. I think that's why they're not. You know, who the hell was Arteta in football really? Little Napoleon. You know, for no one to ask him any questions. Any real tough questions. They're all part of it. You know, when the rivals say, oh no, just like we were saying, we want Eric Ten Hag to stay. Because we all know, innit? You know, because you lot are doing shit under him. So I feel like that's what the media is doing as well. So they're just happy to buy into it because they're content creators like everyone, and they need content.
So, talking of reality shows, what's happening to this dating show the club are gonna produce?
Yeah.
You haven't heard anything?
They're making up the list. Now people are going like, you can sign yourself up. I think there's a list, and then planning. Yeah, I think they'll probably until next year. No, next season. Sorry, not next year. It's next season. Start of the season.
Maybe the backlash. I don't know. But Rashid, we were talking backstage. Someone put in my chat the other day, and I thought it was a very good point. Would you be shocked if Arsenal were the first club to have a kiss cam? I think maybe it was Carl that said it.
Oh my fucking god!
But would you be shocked though? That's the thing. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but would you be shocked if Arsenal were the first club to do it?
I wouldn't. We are the cringiest club in England and probably in the world.
In the world.
The world. Listen, we are cringy.
It will be a win cam. It won't be even real. It won't be a kiss cam. It will be a win cam, and they bring Win round
the dogs with
the stands. Yeah. And you can pat Win, and it will be live on camera. You know?
Bring your dog to the match day. It'll be you bring him, and then with the Win cam. Who has the cutest pooch?
It's embarrassing. Club is embarrassing.
I'm not saying they're going to do it. But my thing is, just would you be shocked? And I don't think anybody would be shocked.
Sorry that I just walked off set, but that really has fucked me over. That really has.
But you can picture it. That's why you can picture it.
No, is it? I watch NBA. I watch NHL. I've seen this in the stands. It is like that's their thing. Fine, cool, happy days. But fucking keep it over there.
Yeah.
Where we got to come? Don't bring over to our fucking.
No, they're not doing it, Carl. I'm just saying. Would you be shocked? Hypothetically,
no, I wouldn't be shocked, but I'll be.
No, it's a normal thing for Arsenal.
Shane, the only kissing that will be done will be when Arteta kisses his career goodbye.
Yeah, hopefully. I can't wait for that. The only thing about those kiss cams, though, do you ever see those videos that come out where a guy asks a girl to marry him and she says no? Right? You know, you see those videos sometimes. I've always said to my missus, if you didn't want to marry him, right, just say yes on camera. And then when the camera's off, go, listen, I just wanted to save you embarrassment, but I'm not doing it. Don't say no on camera. Like, don't ruin the chap's life. Just go, oh, yes. And then when the camera's off, go, fucking not a chance.
No.
I've never understood it. Sorry, Carl, you were trying to come in there, mate.
Yeah, Shane, just wanted to say something. might go against the grain, and
Yeah.
the panel and the chat might not agree with me, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think we're making a big mistake if we go in for Sesko.
Oh yeah,
I don't think Sesko is good enough for this football club.
No, he should.
And the other fella's name, I can never pronounce it. The
Gyökeres.
Gyökeres or what's his name?
Gyökeres.
Not good enough. Not fucking good. I'm sick listening about these two names. Not fucking good enough.
Kyle.
To win us a league title.
Kyle.
There's not many out there though, Kyle.
There's not many out there. Isaac was out there, or Isaac was out there.
Yeah, we didn't go for him.
And got fucking Isaac instead of Newcastle getting him. That's the mistake that we made. And I'm telling everybody here tonight, we buy one of those two players or buy the two of them. We're still winning fucking nothing because they're not good enough. That Sesko is not a championship player. Never mind a Premier League player.
No, he's terrible. Gyökeres might do okay, but under Arteta's tactics,
might come in. Is he going to be any better than Kai Havertz?
He'd be better than him.
Yeah.
Not much better. But
he'll get more goals. He'll get more goals.
He will get more goals. He'll get
but obviously, I know what you mean. That's what we talked about yesterday. You remember?
Yeah. Your man was saying that was it. What was your man? And he's great. Your man, Boyten was being brilliant.
That's my guy.
He was he put up what was it, the Martinelli? We can get 45 million for him, and then later 60. You've already added 15 million.
He was smoking yesterday. He was smoking yesterday. We all know that he was smoking.
Brilliant.
By the way, Boyten, if you're in the chat, tell me your dealer. I want in his number. I want his
Excuse
number.
me.
I want his number. Listen, the shit that he was buying off him, like yesterday, he was 45 million for 60 million for Martinelli and 45 for who else? Havertz and some. Oh, there he is. There he is.
There he is. You should be getting 60 million for Havertz.
No chance.
35 for Kivior.
For Martinelli. Sorry, Martinelli.
35 for
no
Kivior.
chance. Nah, but
35 million for Kivior. 35 million for Kivior.
Big up.
Here he has it again. Come on. But he's played well the last few games.
Yeah.
He's not moving from there.
Not moving from it, mate.
He's brilliant, man. I love this guy. I absolutely love this guy. I have another question here. Where's it gone? Sorry, give me a second there. Oh yeah, Joe wanted to know. And it's a good way to sort of go around everybody here. We'll just get a quick prediction for it's not that it means anything. It means something to the top Gooners for second place and stuff. But views, what do you think about Newcastle?
Well, I mean, especially, I don't even know what type of team he's going to put out. You know, who's available, who's not. Knowing him, he'll probably play a stronger team as he can. I think we're probably going to lose, to be honest. They've had our number all season. I don't usually predict us to lose, but yeah, I think they will. And I think if they do take second, then good for them. And if it hurts the top Gooners, then good. Feel the pain. This is what the manager told you to last season. Feel the pain. Second ain't good enough. So if we're not going to win the league or at least be a lot closer to the leaders, then who cares about being second? You know, it is what it is.
Exactly.
But in terms of prediction, sorry. In terms of prediction, Newcastle have been. I think it might be like 3-1 Newcastle.
Okay, all right, very good. We'll get our first goal of the season against them in 4 games. How bad is that? Normski, the game means nothing, but I mean, what's your predictions?
The game means nothing, but I think it's the fact that it's the last game at home. I just want to hear what Mikel Arteta's got to say. I'm going to go a bit more positive and say it'll probably end up being a draw.
Okay. Rashid?
I think what's the name's coming back. I think Declan Rice.
Oh, sorry, Domsky.
Declan Rice is back in training. So yeah, I'm going to go a draw. But it doesn't surprise me if we get slapped.
Yeah, it is one of them, isn't it? It is one of them where you go, if we do lose, it'll be heavy, and if we still get a draw. Rashid, what's your predictions on it?
Declan Rice is back, so I agree with Normski on that one. I'll be real, because if he doesn't play, that would have been a different game. But still, there's still holes there. There's a Kivior there, so that's I'll go a draw, 1-1. Draw 1-1.
Carl?
I don't know. I give up caring now. I'll be very honest.
Barcelona officially champions.
Yeah, I saw that. The beat Espanyol 2-0. Lamine Yamal scored an absolute fucking cracker of a goal.
What a player.
Rashida sent the link to you on IG. We'll have a look at it. Yeah, I'll go. 1-1.
1-1. Yeah. What about you, Lawrence?
To be honest, I couldn't give a monkeys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. I hope they do us 5-0. I really do. I want to expose this clown of a manager. The game means nothing. Everyone's going to have a wank in their sock because we're going to be wearing the new kit. Whoopie doo. And that rainbow training top that's coming out. I couldn't give a fuck. I couldn't give a fuck. I just hope Arteta ends up with egg on his face.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing, especially just to shut him up and hear his excuses. Kyle, it's a nothing match, mate. What's your predictions for Newcastle?
Yeah, so the boys are going out now wearing the new strip to advertise it for the fucking clown of a fan base to go down to the Armory and spend big amounts of money on this new shit jersey. And the parade around the pitch. I'm going to say 2-1 to Newcastle. I hope Newcastle beat them 5 or 6-1. But I'm going to go 2-1, and I'm hoping it's going to be 2-1 because I want this fucking clown out of here. I want this club to start getting back to where it used to be.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going for, saying 2-1 to Newcastle.
Yeah, we need action, don't we? I think we'll play for a 0-0 to try and just stay ahead of them. But I think Newcastle will nick it 1-0. If they score early, then we have no plan B. They could smash us, but I'll give them a 1-0 because I just don't see us scoring. I don't see it scoring a goal. Maybe a set piece or something, but I'm pretty sure he'll roll Havertz out against Southampton. We'll win 5-0 because they're shit, and then the top gooners will live off that all summer and start going on to it. But yeah, Barcelona win the league. Hansi Flick in his first season, huh? Isak hat-trick to rub it in. Yeah, just to rub it in that we didn't get him. Oh, well, I wanted to show you, Kyle. Actually, I showed the lads earlier. There's an Igal video I need you to see. He's talking absolute shit, but I have it here for you. I'll play it for you now. Hang on.
Yeah.
It's always fun to remember special times, and the happiest memories of all are the ones we share with the friends we love. I love you, you love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too?
What did I call him, man? I call him Barney the Dinosaur because when I was growing up, my kids would watch a show like that and they just play the same episode over and over and over, and you'd be losing your mind, man, and the song would get stuck in your head and stuff like that. But listen, guys, it's been 2 hours. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Wow. Whoever's in, smash the likes. We've gone up past the 50, which is always a top mark. Make sure you subscribe to everyone. Vigilante's being vigilant as usual. He's put up the links so many times, so you just scroll back through the chat and get them. I will get Aaron to go through with me and show me how to pin them and stuff like that. There's a few things I need to know, but I got to run around the panel and get everybody to shout out their channel because I always like to finish on a high, and this has just gone so well. As it's just such a pleasure to have so many people agree to come on and share their views and to just spit absolute facts. And really, I do appreciate everybody coming on. I really do appreciate everybody coming on. But views, what have you got coming up, my man?
Yeah. Big up everyone. Big up the chat. Big up the panel. Always a pleasure to share the screen with you, legends. Tomorrow we have Under the Lens with Geordie Dredd. Obviously, we'll be going through his Newcastle journey and obviously predictions for the game as well, because content is content. We got the intervention a bit later tomorrow at 2:30. So come on and have your say. Lawrence was on there this morning. Very good show. Go and check that out on playback as well. And then we'll probably be back for the Chelsea Man United watch along. Views on sport. Go and show me a little bit of love, people.
Brilliant. Normski, thanks so much for coming on, mate. As always, it's such a pleasure to have you on the screen.
Mate. Fantastic.
Are you plugging yourself into the Matrix anytime this week? Can we look forward to another episode?
I'm looking out, mate. I'm going to be going in there, searching around, see what other people have got to say. I think there is one video that I've watched. I might talk about that. So yeah, look out for that. Also tomorrow, going on All or Nothing show with yourself, I believe, on North Side. I think that's going to be a bit of a late one tomorrow evening. And then we do. Hopefully, I might do a match reaction after the Chelsea, not the Chelsea game, the Newcastle game, and then I've got my show on Wednesday, and yeah, that's where we are.
Love to hear, Rashid, my man. What have you got coming up? And thanks so much for coming on. As you know, I mean, you made your debut on the Bruised Banana. I know you're busy on Thursday, so it means even more that you came on. Absolute pleasure, man. You're a real one. What have you got coming up? No, muted, my brother.
Thank you for the invite. You always make time for me. I need to return the favor, of course, and to every one of you, of course, anybody. But yeah, big up to you, Views, Normski, Lawrence, Kyle. Hey, catch me on the build up to the game. I'm gonna be doing the build up to the game as usual. I'm making it my thing. It's gonna be 3 o'clock, 1 hour and a half before the game. I'm gonna be talking about the game, a little bit about the game, a little bit about everything else. So yeah, catch me on Sunday, 3 o'clock. Big up to everyone, man. Big up to the chat as well.
Cheers, Rashid. Legend. Carl, you after jumping past the 400 midstream. Fair play to you, man. Moving onwards and upwards. What have you got coming up for the people out there?
First of all, mate, thank you for allowing me to come on. Much appreciated. It was a little bit late as always because my mum picks up my boy at 8:30, so I had to be a little bit late. Not the issue. Tomorrow I've got a very, very busy day. 4:30, I am on Luca Talks Football. So don't know what he's got planned, but it's good.
I'm on with you for that.
You're on with me for that one, so that's cool. Aaron has got his call-in show at 8:30, I believe. I think that's his time at 8:30 tomorrow night. So I'll be on with him at the start. And then at 10, I'll be on Northside's channel doing All or Nothing. I'm sure you'll have something good to talk about. And obviously I'll do my usual, and I'll do an upload after the Arsenal Newcastle game because I need to get the hourly time up on the channel. So yeah. And next week, obviously, it's the final week of the season. Thank bloody God. And I've got something in the pipeline to get another All-Star cast on, known as Arsenal's post-mortem, because it will be a post-mortem, let's be real. So yeah, invites will be going out for that as well. And I'm about 2/3 away from my first vlog coming out, but it's got nothing to do with this football club.
That's
So something to keep an eye out for on there. It's just a little something I do out of my off time. But no, big up to everyone, big up to chat, big up to the panel. Absolutely amazing as always. I'm going to bed.
Fair play to you, Carl. Thanks so much for coming on. I know you're busy as well, and it means a lot. It means an awful lot. Lawrence, are you on any streams coming up? Are you on Aaron's on Friday tomorrow night, or what's the story with you? Have you got anything coming up? And thanks for coming on, by the way, because I know you haven't had much sleep and you've been busy today. But thanks so much as always for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on.
You're welcome. Yeah, people want to reach out to me. I don't have my own channel as of yet, but if they want to reach me, there's my Instagram address below me. If they want to reach out, if they're doing streams, I'm available, considering there's an 8-hour time gap between where I am and where you lot are. So big up to you, Shane, to Views on Sport for inviting me on earlier today, to the main man Normski, to Rashid, to Carl for reaching 400, and to the King, Kyle Walsh. Big up to you, mate. You and me. Well, you and me, we know what a great team Arsenal was in the 80s. It's just a pity that we have to deal with this shit we've got right now. But hopefully I'll be on Aaron's show tomorrow. Big up to the panel, big up to the chat. As I said, I couldn't give a fuck about what happens on Saturday. To me, the season's done and dusted. It's now relaxed until the new season starts in August. And yeah, all the best.
Cheers. Thanks so much, Lawrence. Kyle, you started making content again, man, and you're a real one. And thanks for coming on. Don't ever be apologizing for being late. People have lives outside of this. And like I said, I do be blown away by, I send out messages to people, do you want to come on? And everybody says yes, and they all make time. And, you know what I mean? It's humbling. But listen, to have a legend like yourself on, even for fucking half an hour, is an absolute pleasure. What have you got coming up? Or are you on any streams? Or have you got any more content coming for us?
Yeah, first of all, Shane, big up. It's always great to be on your show, brother, and it's great to see you done well. And we will be arranging to meet for a coffee during next week, Shane. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday, brother. All right, I'll give you a text.
Both suit me. Yeah.
Also, big, and we do it, Shane, after your breakfast show. You know what I mean? We won't interfere with that. Big up the views. Great show yesterday. Big views. It was brilliant. Normski, big up to your brother. Lawrence, big up to your brother. And we will be having, I'm doing my own show, so I'll be getting all you guys, all your legends on us. Carl, big up to your brother. Rashid, legend. And all the chat. But listen, I'm getting a laptop. I'm in the process of getting a laptop finally. Shane and Aaron and Views is going to be giving me a little bit of help how to sort it all out properly. I'm on the way to 500 subs. Big up to yourself for subbing the channel. I will be putting a video on my channel tomorrow because I ain't happy about this New Jersey and all the PR bullshit that's going with it. So I have to speak facts. And I will be jumping on and off different shows over the weekend and into next week. I'm hoping in 2-3 weeks' time I'll have my own laptop and everything be done professionally like the rest of you guys. And we'll be able to do. I'm going for like a volcano show, an eruption show, something like that. Something that suits my personality, where I will be letting rip and everybody can say what they want and I don't give a fuck. So that's the way it's going to be. Facts,
Brilliant.
and facts.
Brilliant.
And
Love it.
what I was going to say to you, Shane, I'm Lucas, I want to see how that goes. I'm a film critic, so I'm kind of thinking might do a film show on it as well, you know, do something like that as well. So listen, big up to you all, lads. You're all legends, friends of mine, great community. Let's get this fraud and get our club back to where it used to be.
Well said, Kyle. Well said. And listen, we are a community. I often say we are a community.
Shane, I just wanted to show something. Just quickly.
Go.
This is because of Boy 10. I hope he's in the chat. That's why I asked. Read this. I'll read it out. Arsenal willing to offer Kivior a new contract with improved terms. He's getting paid 130, by the way. He's getting paid 130. Someone correct me. I think it's 130.
It's about
improved terms. Kivior. This is because of you, Boy 10. Because of
you. You can't wash your hands of this, Boy 10. We'll kick you out of this community, man. No, man. You're a big part of this community, my friend. But we are a community, and you know, the people in the chat, otherwise we'd just be talking into a blank screen. If views weren't here, it wouldn't make it. We've no point just doing it. Make sure you subscribe to the guys. Subscribe to me if you haven't already. Hit the likes. I think we're already up near 60, which is massive. It's been the chat's been absolutely lit the whole way through. If I didn't get through some of them, if I missed some of them, it's my fault. You know what I mean? They're popping in and it's very hard. I started some of them, I got to the questions and things like that. But listen, I'll be back tomorrow morning for the full Irish, 10:30 every morning. I'll be on with Luca, with Carl, and then I'm on with Northside, and then I'll probably be on with bleeding Aaron as well. So it's a long day of it tomorrow, but we want to put the work in because we want to get this clown out of our club, as Lawrence would say, and we have to just keep spitting facts, because even if you turn one Top Gooner's head in a week, it's one more that's come out of the matrix. And as Normski knows, you know, it takes a long time to recover after you come out of the matrix, man. You're walking around going, what's going on here, man? You know what I mean? But this is what it is. So big up to the chat, big up to the panel. Thanks again for coming on. Arteta out, Kroenke's out, Barney the dinosaur out, AFTV out, all of that stuff, man. But thanks so much to everybody. We'll be back again next week, and I'll see you all in the morning.
you doing? You're a lost soul, mate. 2 games. Conceded 4. 0 points, and who have we got next? Man City. Honestly, I'm sick of it. The performances are terrible. How much have we spent this window? 129 million on a B team. Honestly, the old Arsenal used to shop in Harrods, and now I feel like we're shopping in Shoe Zone. Sick of it.
I want to get that